Welcome everyone to Holistic Health Talk. Um, with practical tips and advice, Red Pill Man Cave, and Sports Talk. Welcome everyone. Um, for those that joined me for last night's Progressive Discussions show and decided to join me for my Sunday afternoon show, thank you and welcome. Hold on, please. Oh, let's see. Okay. That should that should do it. Okay. I just had to do something really quick. Uh, we will be joined by my co-host, Ronnie S. from Clearwater, Florida. Oh, here's the Commodore Jeff Zambello. The Commodore Jeff Zambello is here rather fast. Quickly, what do you feel? A little chilly?
I feel a little bit of what?
You feel a little. That's a nice shirt. What you? It looks heavy. You feel a little cold in the office today? Oh yeah. No, it's. I always liked dark red. That was always my favorite color. Let me pipe aboard the Commodore. Welcome. And I was just going to say, give me a rundown, an update of this past week's workout, including your new training.
Well, it was a lot of new stuff. I wish I had done years ago, but I had to change gyms. So there's an elite athletic performance gym right down the street, literally down the street from where I live. I can walk to it. And so there's a bunch of strongmen in there. And I never did strongman before, but because of all the CTT and all the years of powerlifting and the kettlebell lifting, it's given me a strong core and all these other things and mobility, functional mobility. So I'm adapting to it very, very well, injury free. So yeah, it's changing my life. I mean, all my muscles are sore. Holy crap! I'll tell you.
Well, because you're
God Almighty,
totally new protocol.
Oh my God!
Remember that the first time anybody trains with free weights, they have a lot of trouble getting out of bed the next morning, and they are stiff and sore. And then your muscles get acclimated to it, and this is like that comparison to people that start strength training for the very first time.
And I'll tell you, these sandbags are unbelievable. It's very ballistic, and it's so functional. It's like all the stuff we do, from your fingertips to your forearms to your biceps to your lats to your shoulders, everything. Your quads, your hams, just to lift the goddamn sandbags up. It's amazing.
Well,
and then the log press.
Yeah.
My gosh.
The sandbag.
It's beautiful.
The sandbag, and the logs, and this, and wheelbarrows, whatever you want to.
I did the yoke. I was going to do the Zercher yoke, but they said that it's 75% more probability you're going to get a hernia from it. So they said just wait a few weeks, and then we'll do the Zercher lift. The Zercher yoke. So you put your arms under, and then you walk with this big squat across. This thing there.
I can see what
you. Ralph Lauren, James. Ralph Lauren Polo. I'm getting a royalty, so just to let you know.
Yeah, you better get a royalty. I mean, I can understand how the Zercher yoke lift or carry would cause a hernia if you're not acclimated to it. I would hold off on that. You definitely don't want a hernia since you're in training for the events.
Yeah, the Vintage Strength Games are going to be a joke. literally a joke. I mean, I'm throwing up 150-pound sandbags.
Well, this sandbag, the sandbag, as well as some of the other tools they use at this particular special gymnasium, it's not a balanced barbell. It's dead weight. So
It's dead weight,
you're
right from the ground.
so
You
you're
have to put it over your shoulder.
so you're using all of your muscles of your whole body. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Every workout.
it's a talk about a compound exercise. You know, they say that squats, deadlifts, and bench presses are compound exercises, but they don't come close to that.
No, they're linear. They're linear.
Yeah, this is, I mean, the sandbag, my God, you might as well say you're putting your whole body into it.
You have to.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to. And what I did, speaking of sandbags, I upgraded the small duffel bag that I had 40 pounds of sand in, and I graduated to one of my larger duffel bags by adding 10 more pounds.
Yep.
So now I have 50 pounds in the larger duffel bag to do neck curls. You know, I use the shoulder strap behind the top part of my head, and I do the neck curls sitting on the stability ball, and then I'm going to put that, because I did it with the 40 pounds. I'm going to put that over my upper back, and I'm going to do with the wheel. I'm going to do planks with the wheel.
Awesome.
Because I already did planks with the wheel with 40 pounds. So I felt that I did pretty good with the 40 pounds. I go, you know what? Screw it. I need to add weight for my neck curls. So I decided, you know what? Let me throw in the extra 10 pounds that I had in a larger duffel bag. So now I have a total of 50 pounds in the duffel bag, or the homemade sandbag. And you know what?
Yep.
Talk about using your imagination and coming up with, your own ideas, and creating your own exercise tools instead of paying top dollar to some fitness company that has maybe an autograph series sandbag and all that shit.
Well, we're actually going to be competing. So a lot of this stuff it's by the sponsors of the events. Like, we have a lot of Rogue equipment, and it's beautiful. I'll tell you, man. And then we do the accessories. So then at the end of it, I do this thing. It's a reverse hyper.
Yeah.
And that's something that Louis Simmons at the West Side Gym in Columbus, Ohio invented. And it decompresses your spine, because he had a member at his gym and who was having fusion problems with the okay. So then it's anti-fusion, so it pulls apart. So you stick. I'll wait till you're looking here. So, anyways, you lay on this thing like you lay on a table with on your belly, and then you have your legs hanging, and then there's this strap. There's a strap that pulls your legs back and forth, like back and forth. That's your legs, and then so every time it does that, so you're on this table, and it's just when you go under the table, it's just your legs go in front of you. It's pulling your spine. It's elongating. My back feels so good. It decompresses everything. And then I did this thing called the glute ham raise. And you know what the glute ham raise is, right, James?
Glute?
The glute ham raise machine. It's an apparatus.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a pommel horse, almost.
Yeah, it targets the gluteus maximus.
Yeah, and so you can stretch, you can decompress your spine on that too.
Hey, you save a lot of money on chiropractic
Oh,
visits.
you're damn right.
You know,
And so we do that after every single workout because we're doing a lot of overhead lifting, and we're doing a lot, heavy weights, but functional. We're walking with things like we do. We walk with the farmers carries. It was absolutely amazing. I did those friggin' things on Thursday.
now
My God,
I, I'm
I
I'm glad you
had
brought.
135 pounds in each hand, and it was beautiful. That's just starting, and so um,
Hmm.
I'll add, I don't know, maybe 40 pounds or something next week, whatever the hell I'm going to add. Each week I'll add more and more and more. And it's just improving your grip and like your traps, man, everything is so sore. It's beautiful.
You know, I see a connection between um, conventional power lifters and spinal fusion injuries, spinal
Yep.
compression. And it's bad. I mean, it could happen when these people get surgery on their cervical vertebrae and their back, and then I mean, that's horrible when they have to get spinal fusion, and
Yep.
and this is worth doing.
Each of these apparatuses, they're not machines. Each of these apparatuses cost a few $1,000s each. And these are at my gym. And then
They
I
got
have this running treadmill, but it's not motorized. You can actually do it yourself.
it's manual.
So when you're in a regular treadmill, all you're doing is skipping because the belt is like pushing this way, but you gotta go this way. No, you have to push off.
which
You get to push off.
which is not only cardiovascular, but is
Real world.
muscle. It's also lower body muscle building because you have to push the treadmill with your lower body muscles, probably from the core all the way down to your calves.
It's like pushing in sand, like running on sand, like
Yeah,
on the beach.
right, right. You do it like
Oh,
exercise
yeah.
running on sand, and you get a fantastic. I know you get a fantastic pump in your lower body when you're running on sand, and it's that's what this does. I mean, you're working your low. It's like being on a Schwinn Airdyne exercise bicycle,
Yeah, we got those too at the gym.
and turning the tension, increasing the tension, so you have to push harder as you pedal. Well, this is similar. It's a manual treadmill, and you are working the muscles of your lower body.
And every time you watch an NFL training camp video, you always see this type of treadmill where the athletes are sprinting on it, and they go, and yeah. So it's what a wonderful experience.
Wow.
I feel like I'm on vacation every time I go to this gym. It's what a gift.
It's incredible.
And then the people that go there, they're all athletes. So you're around like-minded people instead of the gym weenies. With the little fucking the earphones, and they don't want to talk to anybody, and the texting on the machine.
Yeah, texting and the weenies.
Excuse me, sir, can I please use the machine?
Hey,
Don't look at me.
I got an itch.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and you know what? The weenies, the only what they like to ask you all the time, which is very annoying, is, "Hey, how much you bench? How much
Yeah.
you curl? How much you bench? How much you?"
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking bad.
Yeah. Just answer him. Do you use your left hand or do you use your right hand when you jerk off?
I would say to him, the shake weight is functional training too, because you're going like this.
Yeah, especially when you get in a limousine ride in a little 4-cylinder Honda Accord from JFK Airport to southern New England.
Unbelievable. He mooched the ride from that poor girl. He
The other one, mustache. Yeah, from New Jersey, from Newark, Liberty, Newark, New Jersey Airport, all the way to Dover, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about our friend in the pajamas who got a nice thrill after a 24. We won't mention names, but who got a nice thrill after getting off at JFK Airport up to southern New England.
You mean the skin covered stick shift?
Yeah.
And
he gets stick shifted in an automatic transmission Honda Accord.
And who knows? Maybe when the man in the Palavon Pantalones was dropped off at the hotel, maybe the driver went up to the room to check it out. Wink, wink. Nod.
Yeah, wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah.
A
little birdie had to tell his wife he's going on a world tour.
Oh, that's the other one. Yeah.
The other one.
I'm on a world tour, but I'm sure he didn't mention anything about his
shiksa,
his gumara, I'm sure she didn't know about that.
Oh, can you give me about a minute? I got to take a leak. I just got back from a Big Bite Turkish restaurant. I'm throwing in a free advertisement.
Go, and then when you come, because Ronnie Simpson is going to be with us shortly.
Good, and hopefully Masami will come in and we can say hi to her.
Yeah, hopefully. She's probably still sleeping. But anyway, I just want to welcome everyone to my Sunday afternoon show, Holistic Health Talk, practical tips and advice, Red Pill Man Cave, and Sports Talk. And we are streaming on YouTube and Twitter, which is now called X. I guess Elon Musk renamed it X because of his SpaceX program. The man who is so obsessively preoccupied with colonizing Mars. Meanwhile, our planet is dying. Instead of worrying about colonizing Mars, they should worry about saving Mother Earth. It's incredible. It's incredible where their priorities are. But anyway, Ronnie S. will be joining us shortly, along with, of course, the Commodore Jeff Zambello, who is here. And then he will talk about his Sunday lunch at the wonderful Turkish restaurant. Okay, now tell me about your delicious Turkish lunch.
So I had chicken kebab on the skewers
Hey,
Hey, Ronnie.
man.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, Commodore Jeff Zambello didn't know that you were an accountant. I told him, and he was
Yeah, I am.
yes.
Unfortunately.
But anyway, Jeff was describing his wonderful lunch at the local Turkish restaurant. He does.
Oh, nice. I like Turkish food.
Oh, delicious! He does this every Sunday. So tell me, what did you eat?
Chicken shawarma.
Oh, I
and
love
then, and chicken souvlaki on the skewer.
Mm-hmm.
And it
That's
comes
similar
with smoked,
to
It comes with smoked rice. They have a special rice.
It's a kebab.
it's similar to Greek souvlaki, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Greece is close to the Middle East.
Close. Yeah.
It's a
Same area.
Mediterranean country.
And then I had a
Mediterranean.
Greek salad, and then they gave it tzatziki, like
Yeah. The
um,
sauce, the white sauce.
a dollop of tzatziki on the side,
Mhm.
a dollop of hummus on the other side of the plate, and then they give you this beautiful Middle Eastern bread
Yeah.
with tomato
What is it called?
paste on it, and then you fold it, and I chop up my chicken, and I put it in there, and I scoop up the rice and everything.
What's the name of the restaurant? Ronnie asked.
Oh, Turkish Big Bite.
No, I was asking, what's the name of the bread?
Oh,
What do they call the bread?
Oh, the bread. I don't know. I wish I knew.
It sounds very similar to Greek food.
It's a pizza style bread.
A pita, right? Like a
pita.
No, that's the thing. I gotta be careful. It's not a pita. It's actually like they make it like a pizza, but it's flakier, and then they chop it in four.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, flaky. Maybe they use the phyllo dough.
Nope.
No phyllo?
Nope.
Phyllo?
Do you ever have Egyptian food?
Yes, we have an Egyptian restaurant right up the street here too.
Hey, that's where falafel originally came from.
Right.
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
Falafel is Egyptian, yes.
There's an
That's good.
Egyptian place close to me that I want to try, and
Cool.
it also seems quite similar to Greek food as well.
Yes,
Some
it
of the
is.
stuff I see.
Well, they do put tzatziki on falafel. When they make a falafel sandwich in the pita bread, they do put that. I guess the tzatziki is yogurt, cucumber,
Yep.
something like that.
Is it
Yes.
tzatziki or tzatziki?
Tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
It's
I think
TZ.
I always say tzatziki.
You know,
Well, it has eyes in it, at least up here. So it's TZI KI.
Yeah, I thought it was tzatziki, but
it's a
Maybe in Florida they call it tzatziki.
it doesn't matter, right?
you say tzatziki.
Tzatziki up here.
I say tzatziki, tzatziki,
Tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Yeah, I've been thinking of going to this Egyptian place. I'm going to actually. I'll let you know.
Cool.
And they have a nice outdoor patio with a little bar inside.
You know what's great about Middle Eastern food collectively is they like lamb, and I love lamb, but I know people that hate
We
lamb.
have lamb kebabs at the Turkish place too.
Yeah, they say lamb is stinks and has a strong flavor. I says, well, I like strong flavors.
But they
I
have a
love
lot of not just lamb. They have
I have lamb all the time because my boss has sheep.
steak as well. The thin steak, right? That's what they put on the gyros.
well the El Pastor. You mean the vertical meat that's
Yes,
that's
and they cut it. Yes.
cut it down like cut
Yeah,
it.
but I'm saying if you just get a gyro, or they call them euros.
I call them gyros.
Yeah, I still call them gyros because that's what I always call them in New York.
It should be lamb. I mean, a good.
Is it that's lamb? Okay, I
should
didn't know that. Okay.
It should be lamb, but I used to when I lived back in Lodi, and I have my car, I used to go to this guy that I know. He used to own a restaurant in Rockland County, New York. So anyway,
Hmm.
Yeah. I have
he had
family in Rockland County.
Rockland County. Yeah, I guess that's where Nanuet is, right? So West Nyack by the Palisade shopping mall.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so anyway, this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
this guy opened up, but actually right down the hill from the former Crow's Nest, he opened up
Oh.
he opened up a Middle Eastern supermarket, and he
What's
cooks
that?
food. It's called Sahara. Oh, you gotta remove Ronnie. You
Well,
have
just
to.
look at it. You could figure
Kona
it out.
big
Yeah, but
Kona. Yeah.
and then I gotta read.
big wave. Kona
Yeah.
big
Kona.
wave.
Kona's the it's a beer company. It's supposed to be from Hawaii. You ever hear of it?
Yeah, you gotta take the mirror off. Like, you know,
Let me
clicking
try. So what do you
Yeah.
got to do?
Yeah, click below. You'll see a little like an asterisk looking thing. That's a drop down. Go to video and remove mirror. Click on it. It looks like a little rotary, and then you'll see video and hit
It's not
video.
the three dots.
Yeah,
Video settings.
yeah, and then
Okay.
hit video and remove
Oh, I see.
disengage mirror. Now bring it up.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, hold on. There you go.
Nice.
Kona. Now we can.
Yeah. So it's Kona
Oh, we
Big
got a nice
Wave. It's
shot of your name out there.
I
Wow.
think it's owned by Anheuser-Busch now.
Oh, for God's sakes!
But yeah, it's like it was supposed to be beer from Hawaii, but I don't even think it's brewed in Hawaii anymore. It's
Mm.
brewed in they got a bunch of places here. Fairfield, Connecticut, Fort Collins, Colorado.
It's like
Fairfield, Connecticut.
But that's because I think it's owned by Anheuser-Busch now.
it's like Haagen-Dazs ice cream is not from Scandinavia. It's made in the United States.
I didn't even know it was supposed to be from Scandinavia.
Well, Haagen-Dazs. It's
They're always trying to sell.
it could be a
Step right up. Step right up.
Yeah, don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain.
But yeah, it's just I think it's just a nice. It's only like 4-something%. I think it's an ale. It's a nice laid back ale.
It's not too high in the alcohol content, right?
No.
Yeah, because then you get like a massive friggin' headache if you start drinking Imperials.
No, you can't. Maybe one of those, and then switch to something lighter.
Jeez, like over 7%, 9%, and all that. Oh,
I just came from the beach, James.
Oh yeah, what's the high temperature down there?
Today it's not that high. It's only in the 70s, maybe like 75. But the past 2 days
that's perfect.
we got up to 85ish. It's pretty pleasant right now. Yeah. Nice.
The Gulf of Mexico with the white sand is lovely, but you gotta be aware that there are bull sharks in the Gulf, and
There are.
they're very dangerous.
Definitely. Yeah, I know. I've seen it, man.
And it's the only
And there's rip currents. That can be a problem too.
you have riptides in the Gulf.
Yes, and people currently, just the past couple of weeks have been getting pulled in and getting killed. 2 people went missing
You
for
never
like a day, and then they found the bodies later
Oh
on.
my gosh.
Like they go what's it called? Paddle boarding. That's what happened.
Mm.
you never swim if you're
Against
caught,
the tide.
caught in a riptide. You never
Yeah,
swim.
you got to go
towards the beach.
sideways.
You got to go sideways because a riptide is narrow.
Yep.
You'll break the rip. You'll break out of the riptide if you go sideways. Yeah, most people they tire themselves out by trying to swim to shore, to the beach.
There's a lot of those bull sharks too. You're right.
Yeah, bull sharks are the only shark that can survive in fresh water. They can swim into an inlet, going from salt to brackish into a freshwater river and still be fine and attack people.
I like there's hammerheads too, James.
There's a lot of hammerheads in the Caribbean, and they like warm water.
Yeah, I guess that's why.
hammerhead sharks. They're
because the
fast.
Gulf gets warm, especially in the summer.
Yeah, so you got to really. I'm not.
You gotta be. There's a lot of shark sightings over here. There
I mean,
definitely is.
well, the other side, the east coast of Florida, of Volusia County, is like the
They got sharks over there too. Yeah.
shark capital of the world. It's like,
Is that what it is? Really?
yeah, it's like, what is that? Flagler Beach, by Flagler
Right.
Beach.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad with the sharks, and now because of global.
That's over by like Daytona Beach area.
Yeah, St. Augustine, Daytona,
Mhm.
and
So
with
that's supposed to be the shark capital of the world.
shark attack. Yeah, because now
More than Africa.
well, you're talking about South Africa where the great whites hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the great whites. They're not stupid sharks. They come from underneath to attack the seals. They come right out of the water. They come boom. They hit the seal from underneath, so the seal doesn't expect it. So they
Yep.
can't be stupid fish.
Now, did you know Tampa Bay was the lightning capital of the world? Except for there's one spot in Africa, I think it's in South Africa, that gets more lightning strikes.
Well, that's why
Weird.
they named your hockey team.
Yeah, that's why they're called the
Lightning.
Lightning.
Wow.
Tampa
That's
Lightning.
pretty interesting.
It's pretty cool too because like on a hot summer night, actually like most nights during the summer, you can look up in the sky and you'll see lightning coming, like flashes of lightning, but it's not raining.
Oh
you
my
just,
gosh.
You just see it out in the distance, like a fireworks show.
That's
You
awesome.
see that almost every night. It's pretty cool. It's cool to see.
Well, when I used to visit my aunt and uncle in the Florida Keys, I would look north towards the mainland, and I would see lightning bolts going every which way.
Yeah.
But the Keys are very different. The Keys are
Yeah.
much drier. They don't get the rainfall that mainland Florida gets.
During the summer?
Yeah, they really don't have any like monsoon season. They have a low precipitation.
Oh. So like here there's two seasons. One is the dry season and one is the rainy season.
Yeah.
Which coincides with hurricane season. And like so especially in the summertime it'll rain every day like around a certain time. Like 4 o'clock or so for like an hour. Rains every day. But then in the wintertime, normally it doesn't rain at all. It won't rain for the whole time. But this past winter, there was like the El Nino effect, which comes from the Pacific Ocean, and that creates more precipitation and coolness. So this past winter, it actually rained quite a bit down here. But that's not normal.
Yeah. Well, that's why the coconut palms in the Florida Keys, I noticed the leaves were brown and crispy looking. They were drying out. And then I realized the annual rainfall is very low. So I think coconut palms need like humidity. They need a lot of moisture. And but other palms that are more suitable for desert, they thrive. But
I think you can grow coconut palms all the way up to this area, all the way north here. I think you can.
Tampa will, in other words, coconuts will actually survive. And
I think you can, yeah. If you got to plant them yourself, like it doesn't grow naturally, but this is about as far north, I believe, as you can plant those.
Well, the coconut palm is not native to Florida
Not native
at
to
all.
Florida. No. Most of the palms are not native to Florida. A lot of them come from like Cuba in the Caribbean originally.
The royal palms, the ones that grow very tall,
Is that
straight.
Thailand or something, right? Around there?
Well, they grow them in Cuba also, but like they're popular in Southeast Asia, the Caribbean. But the only palm that's really native to southern United States is the needle palm, and you'll know
I never heard of that one.
Well, they're spiky.
I never heard of a needle palm.
Yeah,
I know there's a king palm, right? You know that one, the really tall one. Are you familiar with that?
um,
The king
well,
palm.
if I saw what they look like, I
Yeah,
would recognize it. Then there's the Chinese windmill palm. There's a lot. There's a lot
there's
of
a lot. There's a lot.
that the landscapers or what have you
They know. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty interesting too.
they planted them in Florida, and um, maybe I could find a photo of it. Hold
There's the royal palm. That's another big one where
on.
that like one of them is skinny. I think the king palm is skinny, and then you have a little
Yeah.
palm tree up top. The royal is more thicker bark, and then it breaks out to like a huge type palm tree.
Hmm.
Yeah, royal
There's a lot
palms.
of different palm trees.
Royal palms are very impressive.
You take them for granted if you see them every day and they're just around, because like you said, the landscapers plant them in different businesses and homes
Yeah.
as part of the landscaping, just to make it look nice. But you really don't have to. You have to know how to take care of them because each one is actually different.
Well, the sago. I've seen sago palms and pineapple palms in Florida, and they're from Asia. They're Asiatic.
I
They're
think
not.
they're all from Asia, and some of them are from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But there's actually no native
Yeah.
palm trees that I know of, anyway.
Now-
Maybe in Miami area there might be some.
Now, the fascinating part about the Chinese windmill palm, which grows 30 feet straight, very pretty. They can live in sub-zero temperatures, so they
Oh,
actually
wow.
have them in like Europe.
Really?
Plant them in Europe. Yeah. The only thing is, when they're young, and you plant it, you have to cover it for the first 2 seasons during the winter. You have to cover it like the top in burlap.
Take care of it while it's young.
Yeah, it has to establish.
Because it's too cold. I mean, if they can survive in, like, say, the Northeast, you're saying?
Well, yeah, but it can't be not the soil we have here. There's too much clay in it. It's too compact.
Like Long Island wouldn't work?
They need more. They need a more sandy type.
Because it's too close to the seaboard? Is that why, or no?
Yeah, well, if it can grow, they can plant it up and down the Jersey Shore, with no problem. They can plant it in Long Island with no problem.
Would it thrive, though?
It has to, like, the root system has to be established before you can just let it go for the winter. Otherwise, you have to cover.
Yeah, so you got to take care of it. You got to baby it through the first two winters, you're saying?
Like the old Italians used to wrap their fig trees for the winter time.
Okay.
Mm.
Like they actually, believe it or not, there a lot of them. As I was growing up, my relatives had fig trees in New Jersey, and the reason why they had figs is because they would wrap it up in autumn. They would, like, either burlap or plastic. They would just wrap up the trees, and so it would survive the winter. And then when spring came, the flowers came out and the figs came out. It was amazing. It's amazing how these people are able to do that.
Can you guys see me all right, or is it too, like, glary?
It's kind of blurry, cloudy.
Glary.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like that. I think this is a bad
Maybe
camera.
because the sun's strong.
Well, it's the sun, but the camera should be able to work with that.
Mm.
It's probably not a very good camera. It's just the one that came with the laptop.
Yeah.
And like you said, it looks like really cloudy in the background. It's not even
Mm.
cloudy. It's like I don't like that.
Mm.
It doesn't capture what it actually looks like.
Well,
And then my face is like blurry too, right?
it is. Now, if you face the other way, it might be different, but then we wouldn't have your.
I'd have to change everything around. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like the nice scenery in the background.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say
yeah.
that you wouldn't have the scenery.
Oh well.
Yeah. So So getting back to the Middle Eastern food, it's extremely flavorful.
And it always comes with lemons, and they give me orange slices with it. so they can squeeze the orange and the lemons on the chicken.
Yeah, they use a lot of fresh parsley too.
Mm.
Maybe I'll go live one Sunday from the Egyptian spot by me. I'll show you.
That'd be good.
guys.
Chinese windmill palm photos. Yeah, that would be good. You know, you can. Well, you know what? If you don't have an account to go live, but I could, you know, you could tell
Well,
me.
no, I'm saying I can join your show.
Yeah, yeah. Like in other words, on location.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, what you'll have to do if you're going to go live from a restaurant,
It's a patio. It's an outdoor patio.
Okay, you'll have to have 100% charge on your phone, and if you have a battery like I do for my phone,
A
you
portable
can
battery.
charge the battery. Yeah, I have a phone battery that I could separate battery. I could plug it in. I could charge that, and I've
I
used
don't
it.
have
but-
that.
Yeah, well, let's see.
You have that, Commodore?
What's that?
A portable phone battery?
I don't have a smartphone purposely. I still have
You have a
the
flip phone?
old-fashioned flip phone.
Oh, cool. What kind is that? Samsung?
Yep, Samsung.
Wow. Open it up.
Okay.
What does it look like? And you can text on that, right?
Yeah, but I don't really like to do texting too much.
You don't do it? But you actually, I think you can though. You
I could.
Good for
But
you.
this way, I don't get emails.
So you don't really use it that much.
Well, because
That's good.
if I had a smartphone, I'd be addicted to it,
Yeah, everybody is.
and I'm pretty busy with my life, so it's just one less
You
thing.
don't need that shit, man.
Hmm.
I wish I had one of those phones.
But
But then
The
when you
only
need
thing
to
is-
look something up, I guess you never really need to. It's just like convenient if you have it there.
well, if I need to look up something, I'll just go into my laptop.
But do you always have your laptop on you?
No,
But it doesn't really
but
matter.
I'm not. I haven't. My life isn't used to having a smartphone, so for me, I'm still like living in the 1990s almost.
Yeah.
Whereas if
No,
I need to,
no, I would say it's the 2000s. I used to have one of those phones in the 2000s.
yeah.
They're like one of the first phones I ever had.
Oh, I've had this phone since 2008, since I started this company.
Yeah, well, that's the 2000s. So that's not the 1990s.
No, I'm talking about my laptop. If I want to look up something,
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So it looks like that fucking Brian Cashman of the Yankees is still obsessed with veterans.
oh, why?
Yeah.
Who's he after now?
He should get. I'm reading articles where he's trying to sign up other veterans.
Who?
These
What
people,
are the names?
I don't know. They're all washed up. As soon as I hear the word
Some of them are. Some veterans are good, James.
like this DJ LeMahieu. Oh,
DJ
okay.
LeMahieu, okay.
I wish they'd get rid of him.
I hear that
Do they-
he's having a good spring training, but they're not what they used to be. These guys, Anthony Rizzo is up there in years.
Mm-hmm.
They're predicting the Yankees to have a good team this year. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then I heard the Martian is doing really good.
Good.
He might be playing earlier than midseason this year.
They got that guy from Jersey, right? The shortstop.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Young
Volpe.
kid. Volpe, yeah.
Anthony
He's the
Volpe.
He's one of my
future of the
favorites on the
franchise.
team.
He's the future of the franchise. Right?
Oh, he's definitely he did his rookie year from
Yeah. They
from
were
Triple
comparing
A.
him to Jeter.
Well,
He
he
got a Golden Glove.
he did the 2020 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases, and he has a Golden Glove already. You know,
Pretty good, man. That was his first season, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. His very first season.
Imagine that growing up in Jersey as a Yankee fan.
I
and then,
know.
and then you're playing for the Yankees. That's got to be some shit, man. You know,
That's awesome.
to feel that.
Yeah, how about that? But you know, you could see that.
In the first few games, he had all his high school friends. They'd be in the stands cheering for him. Volpe, Volpe, Volpe. Every time he's a bat.
Yeah.
Hey,
Look at the dogs.
the dogs are calling saying Volpe too.
Yeah, they like him. It's a
Hmm.
dog pound over here.
Oh.
They sound like annoying little dogs. The all
Yeah,
the,
they do.
the rich people like little dogs. Over here, they all have these annoying
The
friggin'
yappers.
yappers. Yeah, you know. But he's really, you know, if Hal Steinbrenner wasn't a pussy, he would have been fired. Cashman would have been fired a long time ago.
Yep. That's for sure.
You think maybe Cashman has something on the Steinbrenner family?
Oh, you mean like Vladimir Putin having some?
No, like
Uh,
the Samoan wrestling family has something on
Vince?
on Vince McMahon or Triple
Yeah,
H.
why would they protect him? That's a good question. That's a good question. Why would they protect him if he sucks?
Cashman.
Cashman, yeah.
He's been there for a long time too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they should have kept Joe Girardi as the manager.
I love Joe Girardi.
Yeah, I like him. He's not managing anymore, right?
Nope.
Is he commentating now?
I think he's a commentator. Yep.
But not for the Yankees.
Nope. Not on the
Like-
Yes Network.
It's for like ESPN or something. Yeah,
Oh, you mean like Alex
like
Rodriguez?
an analyst. Yeah, like A-Rod too.
I'm trying to open up the photo for the.
Was that noise came from you?
Yeah, that's me. I'm trying
I
to open.
thought that was my computer telling me I gotta plug it in.
No. The I'm trying to open up the photo to the Chinese window problem. It's giving me a hard time.
So what's up with Jordy? He came on the show.
No, I'm not sending him the link anymore. He came on
Is he all right?
confrontational and very drunk and high, and he's not a happy drunk. Let's put it this way.
Oh, really?
He came on confrontational. You know, I said to him,
He's
I
usually pretty good.
you know,
He's usually pretty good. Yeah.
I said to him, he was great the week before. I said to him, I learned some very interesting new things about Scotland. I want to tell you. So then he gets on the offensive. He gets defensive, and he puts in the comments, you know, Scotland is more than just bagpipes and ginger hair. I go, I told you I have positive things to say about what I've learned about Scotland, not negative things.
Yeah.
He gets very defensive when he has too much to drink. You know, I was always a happy drunk.
I know he doesn't like to talk about serious topics. Right?
No, he wants to leave. He doesn't really bring anything to the table.
But he likes to talk about beer
He's very limited.
and music, right?
That's it.
Yeah, not even sports.
No, nothing.
But
nothing.
they don't play baseball in Scotland, right? And you don't know much about Scottish soccer, so
No, not really. Like other Americans, they feel they get bored by soccer. You know, it's a slow scoring
I like
game.
it during the World Cup, but that's the only time I really.
I do too. That's it. That's
Yeah.
same
So
thing
it's
here.
It's only once every 4 years.
I can't.
I know,
Get it.
but it is exciting.
No, the
Once
World
every
Cup is
4
cool,
years.
definitely for sure. I definitely
awesome.
watch the World Cup. Like normally a year,
And you get
year
to know
to
all the
year.
players because you watch all the games.
Yeah, during the World Cup.
Yep,
But then, like 4 years later, a lot of them usually don't come back because
I
it's
know.
such a long time.
I know.
Only the ones who stick around, like Ronaldo or Messi, they've been around for like 15 years. You're at work right now?
Yeah, I'm a worker, so I got some trucks out and back. I keep looking to see who's here because we have a big job. We're exporting aggregates, you know, crushed rock to the United States, to New York, to South Carolina, to Georgia, and to Florida.
Yeah, he works for.
We cannot sell it fast enough
He works.
because they oversell it in the United States, and they're begging for us to make more and more and more.
He,
So we're actually working on Sundays now, the guys.
he works
Yeah, I
for.
see that when you join this show, you're usually working, right? On Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I just came in because my computer's. I mean, I got fiscal year end over, so I'm just in here for you guys. Other than that, I would have been home
Oh,
right
if it
now.
wasn't for joining this, you wouldn't.
I
at
would be
work.
home.
Because
But the
that's
Turkish
where your
Big Bite,
computer is.
the Turkish Big Bites right down the street.
Yeah.
So I just came in here because I was running late. Like before I went to Turkish Big Bite, I called James. I said, James, I might be a few minutes late for the show. So then I rushed to get here.
So, are you able to join from your house, or you have to be at
Oh
your
yeah, I
workplace?
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Something. The internet is something's not right. I can't bring up the photo. I don't know what's going on. But I'm not gonna. I'm
It's
not
that
gonna.
asshole Zuckerberg, James.
Yeah. Well, we're
Son of
gonna.
a bitch.
Me and Mick Von Raven are gonna tear him apart on the next show because he's got watchdogs actually keeping track of what people send privately on Messenger. It's none of his fucking business.
Wow.
It's none of his fucking business.
Yeah, Messenger should be private.
It's a private.
Nothing
When
is private, though. Come on.
But
I
when
mean,
you're
we know this, right, Commodore?
no.
The
Well,
government's got
they
their,
own it,
they
but
have their
really-
hands in everything. The
when you're
government's got their hand in
when
everything.
you're messaging somebody privately through a messenger, it's none of his fucking business.
It shouldn't be, but obviously it is.
But he
because
owns it.
We're gonna curse him.
Zuckerberg also answers to the federal government. That's why he went to court. He went up all the way
This is
to
a
the Supreme
private.
Court.
This is a private communication between two friends.
It's not though. Not to
No,
their
fuck-
eyes. To you, but not to
Fuck
them.
yeah.
Right, Jeff?
What
That's
I
right.
no,
It's the truth.
nobody's
That's the law. But, hey,
nobody's
Ronnie,
above
you know,
nobody's above.
the businesses, they own all the politicians and the legislators.
All right.
So they make the rules in their favor.
Right. And the politicians are helping out too. And they also have people to answer to, not just the big businesses. You know, politicians are bought, so
Yeah.
the government has a lot of control, and they give the control to the big corporations because they got the money. So they work hand in hand. And
Oh,
there's nothing
boy.
you can do about it. Nothing.
A
What are you
private conversation is private.
gonna do? James he doesn't believe it.
Private conversation. If I want to send porn to a male friend privately, it's none of his fucking business. That hawk nose motherfucker.
James, how are you able to send these things? You have to go on a company's website and create a username, and then you're sending things back and forth. You weren't able to do that before, right? 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now you take it for granted like it's a phone.
Oh, people should not eavesdrop on anybody's
Well,
private.
of course, they shouldn't, but you can't expect that they won't if they want to.
It's like if one of my neighbors in the building put a glass to the wall and listened to me doing something or saying something, and then complains about what I'm saying or what I'm doing. Well, you know what? Don't put the glass to the wall. Mind your own damn business. Don't be.
Yeah, but when you stay at the Hilton Garden Inn in Norwalk, Connecticut, I always had the glass to the wall.
It's like don't like in other words.
Which one is that?
Fuck
You know,
that place, you can hear everything.
it's it's like behind closed doors, people shouldn't. If they eavesdrop, they might hear things. If they purposely go out of their way to eavesdrop, but like what we're talking about now, the door is shut. I don't have the door open so all my neighbors can hear what we're saying.
Your neighbors can't hear you, but the whole internet can hear you right now.
Right.
Let them hear. Let them hear. Let it all hang out, brother.
So you're not really being private. You're being public.
No, now I'm public. I know people.
But when you're on the internet, you're on the internet. And what is Messenger? It's the internet. You can't expect all this privacy. You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp belongs to the hawk-nosed little geek,
Right.
and it's considered part of his company.
Right.
And like a lot of people say, a private company does not have to adhere to the First Amendment rights. That's what they say. The ass kissers, like over on TikTok, they'll say, "Well, this is TikTok is a private company. The First Amendment doesn't apply." Well, does that? So what they're saying is companies.
Why doesn't it apply? Because it's not like a
companies,
government company?
companies are just because you're a CEO doesn't mean you're above the U.S.
So
Constitution.
the First Amendment, they're saying it applies only to if you're not a private company.
Public. In other words, they feel they're probably brown noses. They feel that if you're in a if you're on a private company's website or somebody else's website, that they somehow are above First Amendment. The First Amendment doesn't apply to private companies.
Well, what about private individuals?
Yeah, what if you're at somebody's barbecue by the pool and you say something, you give your honest opinion about something, and the owner of the house says, "Keep quiet. I don't want you."
Yeah, I've heard this argument before. So I think the owner can say that, and
Well,
the owner of the house has the right to ask the person to leave because it's their house.
and then what you can do is punch him in the face, throw him in the pool, and then leave.
You can do that, but then he can sue you. You attack him on his own property.
He's he's trying to censor. He's trying to censor you because it's his property. Now he could say keep quiet or leave.
He can make his own rules in his property because he can say don't curse in front of kids. And
Well, that I understand.
if they start cursing in front of the kids, he can say, well, now you violated my rules, you got to go. If the person doesn't go, then there's actually a thing in Florida that it wouldn't be applicable in Jersey, but they call it the stand your ground law. Where if this guy keeps being aggressive, he won't leave, you actually have the right to shoot him. If you're standing your own ground, which on your house property, that would be considered. But the guy has to be aggressing, like it would have to be provoked.
Right, and obviously it's somebody that doesn't have the balls to fight the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. Why can't you just fight?
Anybody can pull any 90-year-old woman can pull a trigger.
Any jabronis can pull out a gun, right?
Macho man. What about the old John L. Sullivan? When they used to put their hands like this.
Nobody wants to duke it out anymore, James. Right? That's what you used to call it. Duke it out.
Duke it out. A knuckle sandwich. My family used to say, you know what? Give him a nice knuckle sandwich.
No, I don't think they don't really learn how to fight anymore.
That's what we
Even,
used to do, a
when
knuckle
kids
sandwich.
grow up, they don't have fist fights anymore, so they never really learn.
My grandfather was a prize fighter in the 1920s. He had his, I think, I'm trying to think of who has the photograph of him when he was young. He was,
In New York,
uh, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, well, he's from the area, so yeah, New York, New Jersey.
Madison Square Garden.
No,
Boxing was big in the 20s.
well, he didn't, he wasn't at the level where, they put him against Jack Dempsey or anything like
So
that.
he wasn't getting booked by Jess McMahon, Vince McMahon's grandfather.
No, well, he was. My grandfather used to tell me, don't underestimate the jab. The jab is very important.
Hmm.
Jab.
The left jab mostly too, right? Because it catches him off guard.
If you're right-handed, if you're a southpaw, then it's different. 'Cause then you jab with your right hand.
But most people are right-handed.
Yeah. Lefties, it's like gingers. Lefties are. There's
Few
not a
and
lot.
far between.
There's not a lot of them around.
Well,
It's amazing.
gingers have to be Scottish or Irish, right? They have to be Celtic.
Yeah.
I don't even think Germans can't be
Well, some
gingers, right?
Scandinavians
Scandinavians too.
can't be
Yeah.
ginger. Yeah, it's
Not German though, right?
you're not going to find them. You're not going to find a ginger whose ancestors came from the Mediterranean because of the sun.
I think I've heard of there are some Spanish gingers from Spain.
Do you know that the Germanic tribes, after the fall of the Roman Empire, they came down to invade some parts of southern Europe?
Southern Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, the Germanic tribes from
Yeah,
I think it
of
was
course
the Lombards.
The Lombards, yeah. Lombards.
is the Lombard. There's so many of them, but they're called
Well,
anything.
the Lombards were actually for a little while controlled the kingdom of Italy. They conquered the whole peninsula.
Yeah,
And then basically
Yeah.
they stayed in the north though. That's really where
my
Yeah.
their headquarters were.
my
They were headquartered out of the north.
my grandmother, my mother's side, they were all light. They were all
Yeah, so they were probably from northern Italy.
light. Yeah,
Northern Italy is right on the border with.
they were all Sicilians. They
Oh,
were all-
really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're all Sicilians, but the Germanic tribes did go as far south as
Well, they say Sicilians are so dark because they got invaded by Africans.
the Moors, the
The Moors, right, yeah.
Hannibal, the
The
Moor.
African Muslims.
Well, yeah, that's true. Some are with the olive skin and the black hair or dark brown hair and brown eyes.
Well,
My-
Sicily's not far from Africa.
No, neither is Malta or Cyprus. My father used to throw up to my mother's face that he thinks she had an affair with the milkman because I came out light.
Your father wasn't?
No, they were all dark, and he was. I was when I was a toddler up until I guess a toddler up until kindergarten or whatever, or early grammar school. I had like platinum blonde hair.
Wow.
Yeah,
I used to have blonde hair too when I was a toddler. I had blonde curly hair.
yeah. Well, the Irish. There are Irish and Celtics that have brown hair or dark brown hair. They're not all black.
There's Celtics, especially Irish, that have black hair, and it's not uncommon.
Yeah. Well, don't forget the Vikings used to raid the Isles. Scotland.
My sisters have black hair. That's their natural hair is black.
Your sister really has dark. Is dark. Wow.
It's probably considered like dark brown, I guess.
Well, a true ginger that has freckles and everything, they cannot forget about sunscreen. They should not lie out in the sun.
Yeah, I have a cousin like that.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
They won't get tan. They'll get they'll get
No, and it's not even like a nice tan. Like they just get red, sunburn.
yeah they'll get
They burn their skin.
what do you call it? Sun poisoning? You know,
Melanoma. Melanoma is cancer.
well, that's skin cancer. That's like the end result of lying out in the sun. You know, plus it prematurely ages your skin.
It wrinkles your skin. Yeah, it's not good for you, really.
You know,
The sun is not good for your skin.
I used to see these like girls in their early 20s go to tanning salons and
Yeah, I know. That was like the 2000s. It was a big
Yes.
it was a big deal, and they had
Yeah,
this,
all these tanning salons.
thing.
and
Yeah,
they had dry, leathery
a
look.
lot of the Jersey girls would go, right?
Yeah, like the like
Like
this
like the Jersey Shore people
like
and
the
shit.
South Park when they were mocking the Jersey Shore. They had an
Yeah.
episode making mocking the
So Long Island people are very similar to like Jersey people.
yeah, Staten
So-
Island, Staten Island.
Staten Island, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the
And
tanning.
they were getting skin cancer by going to the tanning salons.
But these
Oh,
girls,
brother.
these
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know that?
these girls were getting age. They looked like their skin was aging. It was dry.
And it was
Remember
like
the
orange,
girls from the Jersey Shore?
leathery.
like Donald Trump orange color.
Well, his is like spray on, right?
Seriously though, yeah.
The Jersey Shore. You know, I think only one of them is really from New Jersey. The Snooki is
He was from Jersey, right?
he's from Yonkers, Westchester
Oh,
County.
she's from Yonkers.
The
Well,
guys are from Staten Island. Most of the guys are from Staten Island.
were they supposed to be from New Jersey, or they were just? It was like they were on vacation at the Jersey Shore. Though, I think.
Well,
They were all
supposedly,
from like surrounding areas.
you know, that's a good question. Did they live there? Or
No, I
was
think that's how the show was formulated. That they were
So-
all meeting together, to be at the beach.
so they rented a house.
Yeah.
It's Seaside Heights.
Uh-huh.
Seaside Heights, New Jersey. They did what a lot of people do from
Right.
the north.
I used to go to the Jersey Shore when I was a kid. On like
Yeah,
my
but
family would take us there.
Seaside Heights is now Sleaze Side Heights because a lot of
Oh.
riffraff, a lot of like ghetto dudes with their white girlfriends, or
Oh,
walking
really?
the boardwalk with their underwear sticking out on the back,
Oh man, really? That's horrible.
with their knuckles dragging on the boardwalk,
With their white girlfriends.
with the white girlfriend. Yeah, there's a lot of riffraff. The
Oh man.
riffraff is getting out of hand. I'm sorry. That's
I
one
used to go to the Jersey Shore as a kid, and it was nice.
That's one thing I'm not progressive about, and that is law and order. I feel that
Lock them up, right?
they need, well, first they need like the old-fashioned Irish cops. They need the shillelagh.
They don't have that anymore, right? The little bat. They don't. The cops don't carry that, right?
They used to twirl.
Oh, they don't carry the baton?
They used to work.
The little bat, right? That they used to have.
Yeah, that's when the cops used to walk a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to get to know the neighborhood. They get to know the
They
business.
don't do that anymore
No,
city?
they're all sitting in the car.
in the car. Yeah, eating
Yeah.
donuts.
Remember that stupid show, the cops that were on bicycles in I think it was Venice Beach, California.
I don't know. What was that?
Yeah, it was like it was one. It didn't last long. It was a show. It was a spin-off of Chips with Eric Estrada.
I don't know what that is.
That was California Highway Patrol. Those were motorcycle cops.
Like a reality show.
No, it was a series.
It was a series.
It was Chips.
Yeah, it was a series. And then, Eric Estrada, the one with the big smile with the pearly white teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he, my name is Eric Estrada. and he
I
then they
think those were Kawasaki's. I don't think they were Harleys.
no, they weren't Harleys. No, they were Rice.
They were Kawasaki's, I think.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. You can't Harley. You know, boom, 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 boom. You know, Harley. You got to have faster bikes.
Yeah, I wouldn't see police riding Harleys around.
Harley.
Maybe on off
Yeah.
duty.
No,
but
they do in Boston. They have Harleys.
on
Harley.
duty.
Yeah.
Harley are more for
That's kind
comfort.
of weird.
They're more for comfort.
Yeah, and like you said, Harleys aren't going to go too fast.
They got the saddlebags in the back. They're
Yep.
they're
No, they are
big.
Harleys.
You know, they're
Wow.
they're safe. They're safer.
And it has
mostly.
like the logo on it and everything. The name.
Yeah, they're the logo. Yeah.
You
And
know,
the state cops had them too.
you know what I saw. I'm gonna tell you guys. One of the years I went to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween. There was a huge convoy of bikers that must have came, God knows from where. It was nonstop bikers,
Harley's from Canada.
and their Harleys were all like decorated for Halloween. It was like really cool,
Wow.
and they were coming into Salem, and it was like it was forever. It was like
Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah, it was like because it's like Mardi Gras there. If Halloween
during Halloween.
well, if it falls on a weekend, it's like Mardi Gras.
Because of the history of the witches and shit.
Yeah, the history. Yeah, and they had a wonderful place there called Red's Sandwich Shop. I would go there and I would get fresh sourdough buttermilk blueberry pancakes with fresh blueberries, and the pancake was the size of a dinner plate, and I would get like a few of those, and I could not finish it. I had to take it a doggy bag, and it was the pancakes, slab bacon, and coffee, and it was like only like $6. That was in the 1980s and 90s. It's a local place, which is really the best place to eat. Local places, you know,
Of course, yeah.
no tourist traps, no
touristy shit and no chain shit.
no
Like
change,
a Crapplebee's.
no Crapplebee's, no. And then they have Kelly's famous roast beef. The original is in Revere.
Yep.
And then I went to the one in Saugus, which is on Route 1,
Route 1. Yep.
the famous Route 1, Saugus. Very nice area. And there was a nice steakhouse, too. There's a breakfast place up there called Bickford's.
Called what?
Bickford. It's like
Bickfords.
Bickford. It's like an IHOP.
I call them Bickfords, but you guys call it Bickfords.
What do you call it?
Bickford.
With the Boston accent, it's called Bickfords.
What do you call it though?
Bickfords.
Bitfids?
Bickford.
Like we don't pronounce our R's
Like how would you say Ford?
like Dodge Charger.
How would you say a Ford?
Chowder clams.
How do I say what?
How would you say Ford? Ford?
Ford?
That's how you say a Ford?
Ford.
Ford. Yeah,
Ford.
Ford. Like Bobby Orr.
Bobby, you're like no emphasis on the R's.
How would you say
Bobby
water?
Orr.
Water. Would you say
Order?
water?
Water.
Water.
I want to place an order.
In order.
I want to place an order for a glass
Well,
of
in
water.
order, you can say
It's not with a T. We don't pronounce it with a T. We pronounce it with a D. Water.
Water.
yeah.
Give me
You-
some water.
You could say that's also like a New York accent too, though, right?
Water. I want some water.
But then people in the Midwest say water, water.
Yeah, I don't
Like
give a
they take the A and they like stretch the A out.
They stretch the
Christ.
A out. Yeah, people from Wisconsin,
Right, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Chicago.
Or they
I
say
hate that.
I'm gonna go to the bar,
Oh, that's
bar,
what-
or bar.
The bar.
Bar.
Bah, bah.
Or instead of saying mall, it would be mall. Right? Instead of
Yeah.
shopping mall, you say I'm gonna go to the mall.
Mall.
How would you say it, Jeff?
Mall.
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 Yeah.
Mall.
I'd say the same way.
Well, there's no R's in mall. So
Paul Mall.
Paul Mall cigarettes.
So they would say pow mao.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they
Crazy.
talk. That's how they
You
talk.
know, I dated this. She was a JAG in the Air Force. She was a captain in the Air Force. Uh, um, and
Yeah, she liked to go in swimming pools.
Laura Atkinson. She was from Queens originally, and she had a heavy New York accent, like almost like the nanny,
Mm.
Pam Drescher. You
That's
know,
like that. That's like that Jewish accent, right? Kind of.
like Brooklyn. Some Brooklyn people, and Queens.
Brooklyn is different than Queens, though.
They have a different accent, right?
I would say I don't know how to explain it. It's like that old lady Jewish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that though.
You like that?
Yeah.
Correct.
Because those people went through heck to come to America. They were persecuted people.
No, but you're saying you like the accent?
Yeah, because you know why? Those Jewish grandmothers, they're so overprotective of their grandchildren. I love it.
Mm-hmm. But that might also be like a New York thing, not just a Jewish thing. Because like Italians are like that, the Irish.
Oh
are
yeah,
like that.
my Italian grandma. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I could do no wrong in her eyes.
Me too. And I'm Irish.
The
Yeah, grandmas are like that with all their grandkids, not just you. But you feel like it's just you. You know.
you just reminded me. I have to go to one of the supermarkets and get my gigantic corned beef brisket.
Oh yeah, it's next week. You got a week from today.
A week from today, so I definitely have to get the brisket.
Yeah.
This week, and hopefully they have the Irish banger sausages that I love.
Oh, you don't get the corned beef?
No, I do, but but if they have the banger sausages like they did one year at Whole Foods, they had like a big shipment of them, and I love the flavor. I'm just gonna stock up on them and put them in the freezer. You know, they're really tasty. They're like white. They're light colored. They're not smoked. Bangers. They're not smoked, but they have such a nice flavor. You know, they're called bangers.
Yeah, I know the banger sausages.
Yeah, all over UK they're called bangers.
Now I think bangers are English, not Irish.
Yeah, but the Irish came out with their twist on it. You know, corned beef is great, especially when you make the sandwiches the day after with the leftover
So
corned
you cook every year?
Huh?
You cook every year?
Yeah, no, I cook.
You go to your sisters?
No, for St. Patrick's Day, no. I gorge myself. I make the corned beef and cabbage at home.
You go out anywhere to celebrate?
I used to go out when they had all you can eat corned beef and cabbage, and then they stopped it.
Where?
Then it's like all you can eat baby back ribs. They stopped that too. So
Where do you go?
Huh?
You're not talking about a chain restaurant, right?
No, I'm talking about every place. They just stopped it, and
That sounds like some Crapplebee's shit. Like
No,
all you can eat, right? Right, Jeff?
actually at the late Crow's Nest, may it rest in peace, or may it rest in pieces because they're going to demolition it. But I used every Monday was all you can eat baby back ribs or barbecue chicken. Now, naturally, I said I don't want chicken. I see chicken all the time. I don't want no chicken. I says, just keep them coming. As soon as you bring me a rack of ribs, put another one on the gorilla. Keep them coming, I said. So I don't think they made any money.
Yeah, but it probably brought you some extra salad.
No, you know what I want? You know what I took instead of French fried potatoes? Because they try to give me a lot of French fries.
I know they're trying to fill you up on all that crap.
Let me tell you something. I
Yeah, the
says,
bullshit carbs. Yeah, get that in you.
give me extra coleslaw. Give me extra coleslaw and the
That's
baby
smart.
back.
Yeah, smart.
Mm.
Don't need
Oh.
the fries and the fucking bread.
No, who needs that shit? Now,
The
now,
same thing. If you go to an Italian place, they give you like 2 plates of bread before you
Yeah.
get the food.
oh, the hot bread. Well, if it's a a la carte, like if it's a
No, not an a la carte. I mean just a regular restaurant.
well, I mean, like if it's not a all you can eat, you kind of want that hot bread and the butter. You really you do.
I think it's better to not even have it because then you're just filled up by the time you eat.
Oh, I eat the dinner. If it's not all you can eat, I will. There is no doggy bag with it.
You don't take doggy bags?
Yeah, or just no, there is no doggy bag to take home. I eat everything.
Oh, I always take something home.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of a big eater. Oh, I found out a scam about buffets. Now, Commodore.
Yeah, what's that?
I found out why they put all the cheap, starchy food, the salads, and the desserts in the front of the buffet, closest to the front door, because they want the customers to be attracted to all the stuff that fills them up,
Mm.
thinking that they're going to go right for the empty carbs, the empty calories to fill
Yeah.
up. So they eat less of the
And the
expensive.
soda. They want you to drink soda, right?
What you know what I do? I always scope out the buffet. I walk around
Yeah.
before I eat one molecule of food. I scope out the whole buffet
Yeah.
and I decide what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to take. And of course I take the best of the best. I don't fill up on there's no
Now, what do you
macaroni-
drink, James?
ice water with lemon wedge.
You don't drink the soda, right?
No, ice water with lemon wedges. I asked.
I'll get a
That's what I have at the
unsweet
Turkish
iced
Big
tea.
Bite. I have lemons in my water.
Lemons in
That's
my
good. Yeah. That's
My
good.
water.
What do you think about
water.
unsweet iced
WADA.
tea?
Water.
Unsweet iced tea, Dustin? That's good.
What? Iced tea?
Unsweet iced tea.
Unsweet
No
and iced
sugar.
tea. Yeah, no, unsweet and iced tea is good, but you squeeze some lemons in.
Yeah.
They usually ask you if you want a lemon.
I want
the soda is horrible for you, and that fills you up.
Yeah, soda's real bad for you.
You know what? And artificial sweetener and diet soda is
If
toxic.
they have beers, I'll have a beer there.
Or have a beer. There you
That's
go.
better than having soda.
Oh, absolutely. Have a good beer. Not a chemical laden macro American.
Not a Bud
Beer.
Light.
Get a craft beer.
Sometimes craft beer doesn't even taste that good, you know? Sometimes you just want the American lager to wash down the food.
Well, as far as famous mass-produced beers go, I like the Modelo beers, the Mexican.
That's Mexican beer.
I like, yeah, but it's like
Is
Corona's good.
Modelo beer? Is Modelo beer the same as Corona?
No.
They just changed the name because of the coronavirus.
It's not the same. It's not the
no,
same.
it's
It's owned by the same company though.
Oh,
Modelo owns.
But it's
Corona.
not the same as Corona.
No, they
It's
make
a different brand.
No, they're owned by Modelo. Corona.
No. Corona
Oh.
is its own company, and Modelo it's his own company, and then they're owned by. In America, they're owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Oh,
In
fuck.
Mexico, they're owned by, I think it's called Constellation Brands, and then Anheuser-Busch works with that company. It's kind of like how it goes. I watched different videos. Ron Terrio talks about it, you know, the history and everything. And
Well, I like Molson's. I like Canadian beer.
that's Canadian. I think they're owned by Anheuser-Busch too.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Those bastards, they're
It's a
buying
monopoly. It's a monopoly.
it's a monopoly. The bastards are buying everything up. You see, Jeff, what's going on
I know.
in today's business world?
I know.
Today's business.
AB InBev, that's the big company. Anheuser-Busch
One of
InBev.
those guys, Legal Seafoods. Oy vey.
Oh yeah, oy vey.
Legal Seafoods.
Yeah, please. They're Massachusetts originating, but
I think I've heard of them.
they charge like
Yeah,
over
the Berkowitz family.
they charge over $30 for a deep sea scallop dinner.
Yeah. Where is Legal Seafoods? I've definitely been there before. It's in
have
the
one.
Northeast,
We have-
right?
We have one in Bergen County, New Jersey.
I think in Long Island there was one. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the
I haven't
Bergen-
seen any here, but I haven't heard that name in like years. Legal Seafood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's a
get
big
all-
chain. That's a
They
chain.
get all the fish from Canada, and they charge very high prices.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like a semi fancy restaurant kind of, but it's a chain.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But they have quality seafood.
Kind of
Yeah.
like what's the Chinese one? The chain that they have, and they try to pass it off as fancy. Shit. There's one right over here in the mall. It's a Chinese chain restaurant, and it's expensive. Kind of like
A PF Chang.
PF Chang. Yeah.
What is it? I never. But we have one in Edgewood. I've never been there. Is it
James,
real?
all it is, it's like, so if you go to the mall in the food court and they have the Chinese food there, it's the same as that. But it's like all around the restaurant is fancy. The waiters try to be fancy, but the food is just like PF Chang's. I mean,
Are the
just
waiters
like the food court.
are the waiters dressed like Confucius
No, they wear like all black, you know,
with
kind of.
the Fu
but not.
Manchu mustard?
No, nothing like that. No, and they have like fires around. It's a chain. It's a gimmicky shit, but it's expensive. It's
So it's
expensive.
atmosphere. Oh, it's
Mm.
expensive.
Yeah.
I'll get my Chinese food later from the takeout. The
And
delivery.
I'm telling you, no exaggeration. The food is just like the food court food.
Food court, except that you're paying for the atmosphere,
Yeah. But the atmosphere is not even like whatever.
paying
you
for
know.
the real estate.
It's kind of stupid.
Well, you told me that Hulk Hogan's restaurant is like not.
Hulk Hogan, nah. The food is kind of lame.
Yeah, what's with him, man? Can
Well,
he?
basically with the Hulk Hogan place, it's right on the beach, so you're gonna get people coming in from the beach, anyway. So it's got like beach food, like bullshit, like chicken tenders or
Finger food.
yeah. With that, it's like Hulk Hogan might come in at any time. You never know, so you have that, and it's in a good location right on the beach. And then on Monday nights, like they put Raw on TV, and
Mhm.
so it kind of packs with like people who want to watch wrestling. But besides that, it has like a nice rooftop area. You go up to the rooftop and you can kind of look around. But the food sucks. The food's not good. The service isn't that good, honestly. You get like waitresses or waiters that they don't really want to work, like you can tell. So I don't think the hiring is that great.
Do they have? Oh, what was I going to say?
Like gimmicky, like Hulk Hogan
No.
stuff.
Do they play? Do they play pay-per-view wrestling pay-per-views?
I don't know. Probably. If they play Monday Night Raw, I would think maybe they play the pay-per-views, but I don't know. It might not.
Because this Irish pub we used to hang out in called Pub 46 because it was on Route 46.
Uh-huh.
US Highway Route, yeah, Route 46. They had all the pay-per-views for everything, even the like MMA, and they
The UFC ones, yeah. Sometimes you can find places that'll play the WWE.
and
but
and, and
it's
that
not as common as the.
and that attracted a lot of people. They would
Yeah.
go there and
I
eat.
mean, there's a lot of wrestling fans out there.
They would go there and eat and drink, and
They really should play. More places should play those shows.
and what I liked is when the DJ was there. Not the DJ that came late, because then they played all that. Oh. Oh, so yeah, so I'm glad your workouts are really. I mean, you're gonna fly through the vintage strength games.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a joke, an absolute joke.
Are you kidding me? That's gonna be like cake.
So,
It's gonna be like cake, man.
anyways, I got to get going here because
All right.
I want to have some sort of a weekend.
Okay.
I've been working out all freaking weekend here and working. So
Yeah, go home, decompress, get ready for your supper,
yeah,
and I guess you probably want to take a shower.
yeah, shave, shower, all that stuff.
All right. Thank you for, of course, like always, coming by.
All right, thank you, sir.
And I'll talk to you in cyberspace, or
You got it. Please, and send me some of those emojis that I enjoy.
Okay.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, that was. Oh, I forgot to blow the bosun's whistle before he left. Anyway, that was the Commodore Jeff Zambello, the one and only. Now I get to see the lovely waterway where Ronnie S lives in Clearwater, Florida. Have like a kind of like a pond with fountains. That's really pretty, with fountains blowing the water up in the air. I gotta ask him something about that pond. I hope there's no alligators in there. Yeah, let me ask him when he comes back. Hopefully he will. There he is. Yeah, Commodore says good night. He had to leave.
All right.
Yeah, you want to go home, take a shower, have dinner, and
Yeah, you say he leaves at 5 o'clock usually, right?
yeah. He says he wants to finish off the weekend and relax. Let me ask you a question. That pond that's behind you with the lovely fountain blowing the water up in here,
Mm-hmm.
is that fresh water or salt water?
I don't know.
Is
I don't know.
there fish in there? Do they stock it with fish?
Yeah, there are fish. Yeah, so I guess it's salt water, right? It would have to be.
No, it could be freshwater fish, but being that you're in clear water, it's probably salt water.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean, is it an inlet
There's
that goes?
walruses in there, or not walrus? What are they? Manatees.
There's manatees that come in there.
Yeah,
Oh, then it has to be connected to the Gulf. Oh, wait a minute. Like the manatees live in.
they might go on like a tunnel, through a tunnel.
That's really cool that manatees come in there. Really, I mean, they're such
Yeah,
wonderful animals. You
they're
know,
very peaceful.
they're cute, they're peaceful, very gentle. I really wish that they make a big comeback.
Well, they're trying to down here.
Yeah, manatees. They're just one of nature's beloved creatures.
They're big in Florida.
I know. I know that the speedboats were scarring up their backs as they went by, and
Yeah.
assholes that don't give a shit
Mm-hmm.
about wildlife and
Yep.
yeah,
There's a lot of wildlife in Florida, but there's also a lot of people. So
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of
they fuck things up.
invasive species. A lot of invasive species.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest
Well,
problem.
you can say that a lot of the people who come here are invasive species. You could say that. And so it's the same thing with the animals.
Well,
Florida is just a hub of all things from all over the world.
I think this is why the cost of real estate, mortgages, rents, and real estate in general has skyrocketed. And the
Mhm.
cost of living has gone up because supply and demand. There's only so much Florida real estate, and there's so many
Right.
people moving to Florida.
Well, there's only so much real estate that's on the coast because there's plenty of real estate in the inside, except for the Everglades. But
Nah,
there's a lot of open land in inland Florida,
well, I know
but
Orlando.
people don't really want to live there. But they're expanding it now because the
Orlando has a residential.
Orlando has a lot of suburbs around it. Yeah,
There's a lot of suburbs. It's not on the coast, but
but that's Orlando. So Orlando's like a hub. It's like a main city.
yeah,
Obviously, it's like a Tampa or
yeah.
a Miami or a Jacksonville. Those are
I
the
mean,
main. Those are the main cities.
I mean, Florida started out as a tourist mecca, and
Well, it started out as a backwater part of the South. Before I think in the 20s,
it's all
the 1920s.
swampy,
Yeah, swamp. Like it was. I mean, the whole state was a swamp at
except
one
for
time. At one time,
Miami.
the whole state was like the Everglades, basically.
Yeah,
And so all this land that's we have here, that's all fake. It's man-made,
yeah.
because
That's why you have so many sinkholes.
it was all dredged up. Yeah, that's why there's sinkholes. Exactly. This land is not, like solid land. It's not naturally made like that.
Yeah, the water table's high in general.
So people didn't come here, but they didn't want to because it was inhospitable in the 1800s, and
Oh, could you imagine? Oh,
yeah, and then in the 1920s, that's when it kind of people from like Philadelphia or New York came down and tried to. They realized the potential it had and turned it into a tourist place because of the nice climate.
I wonder when Miami was first built
The 20s.
in the
So you,
20s.
so you were talking about Flagler Beach, right? Flagler Beach is named after Henry Flagler, and he's the one who built up Miami. He built up the whole East Coast,
Really?
going from the north to the south, and he ended up Miami was one of his last projects.
So he was like a big time mogul back then.
Henry Flagler, yep. And then on the west side of Florida, you had Henry plant. So there was the two Henrys, and they both built railroads. So there was one railroad going down the East Coast and one railroad going down the West Coast, and that's how they built up. Wherever the railroad went, they would build the areas up.
Oh, that's fascinating. I love history.
Mhm.
Hey, good morning, Masumi from
Good
South.
morning. Oh, morning in
I mean, for her,
Japan, right?
yeah, she's
What time is it over there?
well,
Daylight. So does Japan do the daylight savings time?
no,
No, right?
no. So that means instead of 14 hours ahead, she'll be 13 hours.
13? 13 now.
13 hours ahead. So it is morning.
What time is it?
It is Monday morning in Japan. It is I don't know. But anyway, when did they have daylight savings time last night?
Yeah.
Okay,
Today, today's the first day.
okay, so she's 13 hours ahead of us. So good morning to you, Masumi. Thank you for stopping by. This is the tail end of the show, but thank you for coming by. Okay, and I hope your Monday is not a typical Monday, like
Yeah. Hopefully, it's not a manic Monday, right?
a manic Monday. You know, all the songs written about Monday were not happy
They
songs.
all suck. 'Cause Monday sucks. Now
Well,
you know what? I don't have to work tomorrow.
oh wow.
Yeah, I got the day off.
I mean, just think of how tough it is for office people to deal with Mondays. I mean, that's got to be horrible.
Yeah. No, and Monday's the worst day. And then it's what Sunday is like the day of rest, right?
Yeah,
But then you rest all day, and then you come around to like 5 o'clock, and you're like, oh man, you start thinking about work the next day.
you get. Oh, I got to get up early.
So it fucks up your day.
Well, it puts you in a bad mood.
It does, yeah.
It's like, damn, I got to get up
So
tomorrow.
I don't have to well, I get up early anyway, but I don't have to go to work tomorrow. So it's like I can actually enjoy the whole Sunday and not think about going to work.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's like people that work in hair salons. You know, they're usually off work Sunday, Monday.
Well, I think Monday maybe, but Sunday is probably a big day for hair salons.
Oh, in Florida. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I would say everywhere because people have the day off.
Oh,
You
you
know?
welcome. Assume.
You're welcome.
Um,
So, yeah, I mean everybody has a day off on Sunday for the most part, so that's when they go get their hair done. If not on the Saturday.
yeah, they're opening up a barber shop right around the corner from me. It's a famous. Well, no, it's not. I I usually go to Supercuts.
What do you pay for a haircut?
You know, I never looked at the price.
Well, down here they're charging like $35 before
Wow.
tip. Yeah,
Wow.
it went up a lot
Even
after COVID. The fucking inflation crept into the haircut prices.
haircuts. That's why I used to go get my head buzzed because I wanted it to last.
Really?
So
You used to buzz your hair?
I used to get it buzzed.
You're not supposed to do that because then it fucks up if it's gonna grow back.
Well, I told them leave the top longer and use zero
Mm.
machine in the back.
So you didn't get a full piece.
No, then I'll look like
That's what I
friggin',
thought you were saying.
and then I'll like my mother used to say, I'll look like a pencil eraser.
Yeah, but
You know,
like, yep.
yeah, I don't have like
You don't want to do that.
I don't have a big friggin' melon head like a lot of these guys that look good with a bald head.
But some
Like-
people do. Some people do.
Like
It's
you know,
everybody has a different shaped head.
like you need a big melon head,
It's got to be very round,
very round. Like
and if not, it's not going to look good.
then you look, yeah, it'll look like you have a pointy
Mm.
head.
You don't want that.
You know, you look like a zippy. What's that? Zippy?
So what's the latest on the Vince McMahon stuff?
Well, it all got quiet.
You think they're just gonna forget about it?
I mean, I don't know how true it is, but some videos on YouTube say he got arrested. But wouldn't we know that already? I mean,
Well, I
if
don't know.
he really did get arrested, wouldn't the media?
I saw a video that said that, but I didn't really watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
It could be true. It could be true.
yeah, but
I don't think the news is gonna report everything.
well, he was somebody like him. I mean,
They got a lot going on with Donald Trump and shit. It's an election year.
God,
They might not focus on Vince McMahon as much.
and Israel and Hamas,
Yeah, there's wars. Yeah.
they're beating that to death. Especially that guy Wolf Blitzer. My God, it's all well.
I saw a video that I wish I didn't see yesterday. It was horrible.
I can't watch
There was
bad things.
there was Israeli soldiers taking footage of a starving dog that was eating a dead corpse of a Palestinian kid. And they were laughing about it.
Laughing.
These Israeli soldiers were laughing about it. It's horrible, man. Absolutely disgusting.
You got to be a real fucking sociopath. You got to
And
be a sick
the
people.
U.S. government's paying for it.
A
U.S.
child.
tax dollars are going to fund that genocide.
I mean,
What the fuck is going on?
a child.
A dead child being
Awesome.
eaten by her, his or her starving dog, because the dogs are starving. Everybody's starving.
It's like they feel no remorse about
No, they
children.
don't.
Children getting killed. Like this.
They think they actually think it's funny. I mean, these are the people we're talking about. What kind of fucked up people is this?
They should not. They don't deserve one penny of U.S. tax dollars.
And then they say, should Israel have the right to defend itself? Come on. When this is coming out,
Yeah, murdering civilians and children. That's defending itself. Whatever happened to just going in?
James, I don't know if you pay taxes, but I do.
I know you pay taxes.
That's where this fucking money is coming from. The United States is funding that so-called war, genocide. I mean, that's horrible.
Shouldn't be.
That's really bad.
He doesn't deserve one red cent, Netanyahu. He's an evil man, and also all those military bases should be closed, and that's tax dollars too. 800 military bases, U.S. military bases. Why does a European NATO country need an American military base for what? What do they have a modern military in Europe. They don't need Americans just hanging out with their thumbs up their ass.
Well, they've been in Germany since how long now? The 40s?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Germany?
And how many people have you talked to here on YouTube? There's booze hounds that they're former military people who were stationed in Germany in the 80s. I know a couple of people, and they think that that's justified.
How is it justified? Nothing happens there. They eat fucking. They eat all those German
They're
sauces.
going to the Oktoberfest.
They drink a lot of beer. They go to Oktoberfest. They fraternize with the Fräuleins. I mean, nothing goes on there.
And we got to pay for that as civilians.
Germany has a very modern military.
So we are funding their fraternization in Germany. And you think these guys in American uniforms, dressed up in a nice army uniform, are not going to get some hot German girls, right?
Well,
And we got to pay for this shit.
there's nothing better for them to do. It's odd. Yeah, the Fräuleins. We're
I
going
mean,
to look for
I
Fräulein.
wish I should have joined the army and be stationed in Germany, but you can't get away with that anymore. If you join in my generation, you get sent to Iraq or to Afghanistan or to fucking Jordan or some shit.
You know, they even during the Iraq War, they even sent like people from other branches of the military and also
Illegal immigrants.
so
They were recruiting illegal immigrants and saying you join and then we'll give you the citizenship.
and it's some officers and they sent them to Fort Dix to learn combat and they send you wherever they want to send you. You can't like in the old days you could say they'll say,
Well, they usually send you somewhere in the South.
well,
It's going to be in the South.
they'll say
You're never going to be stationed in the North, right? You just notice that? There's no military bases in the North.
no. Well, what they'll do is they'll say you want to go to Europe or you want to go to Asia. That's what they used to do. But honestly,
Well, no, they don't say that anymore. You
No,
want to go to the
not
Middle
anymore.
East or you want to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you want to come home in a body bag
Right.
from point A or point B.
Now, not everybody goes there. You can be, you get a really good grade on your test. They'll just leave you in North Carolina, pushing pencils around.
What did they fucking accomplish by being in Afghanistan? I was just thinking.
Well,
that.
they took the government. So before it was controlled by the Taliban, right? In 2001, that was the government there, and then 2021, the U.S. withdrew, and in a matter of like a week, the Taliban were back in control of the government.
Yeah, back in control.
It's worse than Vietnam. Vietnam took like a year before when the U.S. withdrew. I think it took actually like 2 years, and
Oh.
so the South Vietnamese army, which was just a government puppet thing, from the U.S.
Yeah.
They lasted almost 2 years before the North Vietnamese took them over.
Well,
In Afghanistan,
yeah.
they lasted about 2 weeks. I don't even think it was 2 weeks. Whenever the Taliban would come in to these bases, which were trained by the Americans, the Afghan army, they didn't try to fight. They would just put down their guns and say like, "Don't kill me."
Well, the Russians got out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They got tired of it. They threw their hands up and
But so basically, the answer to your question was, what did the U.S. gain in Afghanistan?
poppies,
Poppies, yeah. So
opium.
an opioid crisis in the United States, because a lot of those poppies came back to the United States. A lot of the American troops became addicts. That's something that you don't hear about on the news, but it's true. They started doing drugs over there too. They were actually guarding. They were used as card. I don't know if you call them cartels in Afghanistan, like in South America,
Well,
but
they have the Afghanistani version.
they have their drug lords, right? And they're producing heroin, poppy seeds.
Oh yeah,
And they hire out the U.S. Army to come in there and guard their poppy seeds.
poppies grow very well.
So the United States, listen to this though. The drug lords were hiring out, or they were purchasing the regiments of the U.S. Army to guard their fields, and that's what the military was doing there, was guarding poppy fields.
It's like
For 20 years.
sounds a lot like Vietnam. Vietnam was a waste.
I think it was a lot more expensive than Vietnam. And Vietnam fucked up the economy. But Afghanistan was even more expensive.
Yeah, but it was like, what did the United States really gain?
Well, they lost. They didn't gain anything. They lost.
They lost. It was a
Same
waste.
thing in Iraq, right? But then you're going to say, oh, this is the United States of America. What did Joe Biden say one time? This is the United States of America. Um,
Yeah.
and then he said something else like, "We can never lose," like something like that, like somebody his age would say, because they're so disillusioned and they don't realize that the U.S. Army loses all the time.
Well, they lost in Vietnam. The North Vietnamese used a a special type of like guerrilla warfare where they had tunnels even in the jungle. They were like hidden in tunnels, and they would just pop up like from a rabbit hole and start shooting. And the United States got their ass kicked. I hate to say it.
But they always do.
Yeah, there was no reason to be there. Same thing, Iraq. No weapons of mass destruction. The Taliban, most of the 9/11 terrorists were Saudis. It was
Mhm.
Saudis, and
And not one of them was Iraqi.
right. They're Saudis, the country that the United States has been kissing up to for so long.
Even the WWE goes over there to Saudi Arabia now.
Yeah, they're kissing up to them.
Well, they're rich.
Murderous kingdom,
Yeah,
murderous kingdom, where
they're not exactly a democracy, even though
yeah,
supposedly the U.S. is supposed to be defending democracy around the world.
I don't know. I saw this video that disturbed me. They were beheading this Saudi Islamic girl in public to set
Oh
an
man,
example.
it's like the video I told you about, from
Yeah,
from Palestine. Is
I think
if you actually watch these are real videos.
yeah, I can't.
We don't see this covered
I
by
can't.
by our corrupt news media. I mean, they don't even mention it. I don't think they should show the videos, but they should at least mention what's going on, and they don't.
They don't mention.
And it's absolutely disgusting what's happening in the world. And in the fact that us as U.S. taxpayers, we're complicit in funding this. It's horrible, but it always has been. There's nothing new. The
You,
U.S. has been doing
you know
disgusting things
what?
for a very long time.
I think the root of the problem is stupid Americans are brainwashed to. I know we're off topic, but it's important. Americans are brainwashed to to think that the only qualified politicians are part of the two major establishment parties.
Right.
And
Yeah.
anybody outside of the establishment parties,
Why does it have to be only two parties?
and why does it have to be two parties? And why is an establishment politician who takes huge campaign contributions the most qualified to run the country? You don't want those kind of politicians that owe big favors and meet with lobbyists. You want like the Our Revolution people that take donations
Well,
from
what about Bernie Sanders?
well, he started Our Revolution because he
But he
wants
takes some donations too.
not from the fat cats. He doesn't.
You sure?
No, Chuck Schumer probably does. You know, Bernie Sanders doesn't kowtow at all to
Now, what
corporate.
about Big Pharma? He's not getting paid by them.
No, he's always talking against the big corporations, the
He
big
can talk. He can talk, but what is actually going on behind the scenes?
yeah. Well, they'll read him the Riot Act if he bashes
Who
companies
will?
if he bashes companies that are supporting
Yeah,
his
and
campaign.
but I think they pay him too. So
Well, that will be that will be a conflict of interest if he was bashing the biting the hand that feeds him, right?
as far as Big Pharma, are you saying?
As far as like calling out, exposing, and bashing big companies, and
If
and
big
those,
companies are paying him,
if they're paying him, then he wouldn't be talking shit about them.
no, he wouldn't.
but he does.
Well, they can have, a tongue-in-cheek agreement as well. Like, oh, you only say so much, and then keep up your act. But we're going to pay you behind the scenes.
I don't know.
Just don't talk too much about us.
The thing is that Americans always have to settle for the lesser of two evils, which is still evil.
Well,
And-
I think they're both pretty evil.
And that's what
Yeah.
you're getting. Well, they're not the same.
They're
People
not
are.
the same.
They're not the same because.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. He's got the runs. He's been running to the toilet a lot. Maybe it was that cone of beer he was drinking. It's got him running back and forth. Anyway, you are watching my Sunday afternoon live stream on Twitter and YouTube. A lot of people still know it as Twitter, even though it's called X. So join our Facebook group called the Original Holistic Health Talk. Original Holistic Health Talk. That is the page, the web page that we are promoting for this Sunday afternoon show. Yeah, the lesser of the two evils is still evil, but with, like my grandfather used to say, the Democrats will throw you a handful of crumbs, but the Republicans will give you absolutely nothing unless you're rich. Unless you're rich. But if you're part of the bottom 98%, don't expect any help.
Okay, so
and-
what year did your grandfather say that in?
I was in high school, 1970s,
So do you think that still holds true?
that the Democrats will throw you a handful of crumbs.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would say maybe in the 70s you can say that's true.
Well, the Republicans are not going to do. They're not going to really. They don't
But-
believe in social programs for the.
Now in 2024 as compared to the 1970s, the Democrat Party is a lot different.
Well, it's worse.
It's pretty bad.
It's,
I mean, they're pushing
it's worse. But
gay shit, trans shit.
yeah, I know they've gotten very well. The neo liberal.
Neo-feminists or whatever you call them.
Yeah, the
I don't even. I guess they got warped into.
the neo liberals, the neo feminists, the neo whatever. They have taken control of the Democrat Party
And the neocons.
and the
have taken-
neocons.
They've taken control of the Democrat Party as well.
Yeah, like the stupid ass Congresswoman Green, Marjorie Taylor.
No,
Greene.
no, she's a Republican. She's not a neocon.
Well, a neoconservative isn't that an extremist? A
No,
Republican?
no. A neocon is like a George W. Bush or Dick Cheney. They were the neoconservatives. So their ilk has now seeped into the Democrat Party. They've actually left the Republican Party. That's like the pro-war.
Yeah.
Neocons were the ones that were for going into Iraq in 2000.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought neo meant like extremist.
No, neo just really it means new. So it's like in that time that was like the new conservative.
Well, then
Yeah.
what would you call extreme right-wing fascist type Republicans?
Just like you call them, like that's what people call them. Extreme right wing, I guess,
Yeah,
is the label.
like Boebert and Marjorie Taylor
But if
Greene.
you ask me, I would say the neocons are pretty extreme with their pro-war,
Well,
pro every single war. That sounds pretty extreme to me.
we used to call them hawks.
hawks, yes, like a John McCain.
Yeah,
He never met a war that he didn't want to get involved in.
yeah. So they're like really pro military industrial complex.
Or you can say like Mitch McConnell, or like Lindsey Graham, who still didn't come out of the closet yet.
Yeah.
They're pro hawks, right? Hawkish Republicans. So they would be in line with George W. Bush.
Yeah. Well, they stay in the closet because it will ruin their political career.
Because he's not a Democrat. Because the Democrats, you can come out of the closet.
Oh, they'll worship you.
Yeah.
If a Democrat like Booty Jig,
Like Booty Boy.
Booty Boy, yeah, you come out of the closet and you're a Democrat, they'll put you on a freaking in Mount Olympus. So
Well, that's what the White House press secretary. That's one of her claims to fame, is that she's black, she's a female, and she's a lesbian. So
no, I
that's
didn't know that.
yeah. And then and the first time she came on, because remember she replaced that white lady who was there originally,
Oh yeah,
Jen Psakis or something like that.
yeah. She had like
She had red
what-
hair.
like a reddish kind of.
She was like, yeah, she was too white. They had to get her out of there, and she was straight as well. She wasn't gay.
So she wasn't politically correct.
Right. And then so when this new lady, I don't remember her name, Jean something.
Yeah. So
It's like she came on her first speech. She said, "Well, listen to this. I want you to know." She said this. I'm the first female, black, lesbian, a couple of other things too. I don't know what else is in there. Press secretary.
she had to establish that in public.
Right. It was very important. It was very
Now,
important.
now
Now you remember who was there under Trump? Remember who was there?
McElhenney.
Yeah, McEnany.
McEnany.
Remember her?
Yeah, McEnany. Yeah, she wasn't a bad looking tomato.
She was straight.
Lily White.
She was white. And I think she wore a cross, so she believed in God.
Yeah, it's all the it's all
Oh, didn't have any of that stuff.
yeah. So isn't that something? So you're right. You're right. What you said about the Democrats. The Democrats of
Well, the Democrats of yesteryear, like
Yesteryear.
your grandfather is saying, I get it. Like I understand.
you know
The working man's party.
the FDRs, the
Yeah,
JFKs,
the unions and all that.
the Lyndon Johnsons.
I understand the if you're what do you call it? Well, like the attractiveness of that party. I get it. And, I don't come from a rich family.
Plus the
But, yeah, I mean we're not like the Theodore Roosevelts of the world.
plus the civil rights movement was the Democrats of yesteryear. Civil rights movement,
Yeah, well, that kind of fucked them up because in the civil rights stuff, eventually they started with the blacks, and then that kept being their theme until they come into like the 2020s, and now it's transformed into trans rights, and like you got to put tampons in a first grader's bathroom. Right? In Connecticut, that's what they passed some kind of shit that like in the public schools,
in the men's room.
in an elementary school,
Oh.
they got it. And which, first of all, like even if you're a female in elementary school, you're not going to need tampons yet for the
No,
most part.
they're not menstruating yet.
No. So it's disgusting. Like these people are sick, man.
So
These
that's
people who are doing this stuff.
that's
They're fucked
that's
up.
taxpayers' money again.
Taxpayers' money, and it's absolutely sick.
It is sick. It is sick to force things that are to force
Unnatural.
things and information that is inappropriate for young children to know about. All of it across the board. It's inappropriate. They're too young, and it becomes like you said,
So why are they doing this, James?
it's sick because they're a bunch of fucked up, sick, perverted, demented.
They were the ones hanging out with Epstein, right? It
Hollywood,
might have been Trump too. Yeah, Hollywood.
Hollywood,
Oh, Hollywood's been fucked up for a long time.
well, Hollywood's is the most perverted.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, perverted Hollywood.
And who is Hollywood run by?
Jews and gays.
The Jays. And the Jays, you can't say, or you get banned. You say the full word.
The
The
Jays.
Jays and the gays. But you're right. You're right. And what's worse? I mean, a cheap New York Jay. You can you'll be all right. You know you've known plenty of them in your life. But then if they're gay, then their mind is even more fucked up. They're not just cheap, stingy.
Yeah, like
Now they're perverted.
you remember Weinstein?
Yeah.
He's
Weinstein
in
was probably like a bisexual or something.
jail now. Yeah, he used to have a casting couch and a fat, ugly pig.
Even Vince McMahon, you're finding out now, he goes both ways. A lot of the news is coming out and saying that.
He was in the shower room. It was him and Pat Patterson and a bunch of
Yeah, why did he keep Pat Patterson around for so long when he knows he's gay and perverted?
He didn't have to be loyal to Pat Patterson after
He
his father passed away.
He says he did it because he wanted to respect his father's friends.
No, I think Pat Patterson brought him some gay meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Young little boys.
he, hey, a lot of
Pat Patterson and there was this ring announcer named Mel Phillips.
Mel Phillips. I remember him.
He worked together with Pat Patterson, and then I think Terry Garvin was a retired wrestler, and he became working on the ring crew, and they would hire young boys from the neighborhood. Most of the time, they came from a broken home or they were homeless, and they would molest these young boys. And Vince McMahon knew about it.
Jeez. Yeah, well, a lot of wrestlers were right when they said Vince is a maniac. He's
Yeah, but they didn't think to this proportion.
no.
But Pat Patterson was a maniac. Is he still alive?
No, he died.
He died. If he was alive, he would be involved in this
Oh, without a
lawsuit as
doubt.
well.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
I think Pat Patterson's probably worse than John Laurinaitis. But the shit that he did to little boys. I think Laurinaitis was doing it to the women.
yeah. I'd love to see them all get fired. Whoever's left, just clean house. Triple H will be lucky if he still had his job. Over the long term with the new ownership.
Well, Triple H is trying to distance himself now from his father-in-law.
It's probably really super embarrassed. Like, can you imagine how Stephanie feels?
But Stephanie knew, though. She knew it was going to come out. That's why she resigned.
She probably, well, yeah, she's the daughter. She probably knew what was going on.
She knows what he's doing.
You
Vince
notice
McMahon wanted to create a storyline back in the early 2000s where he was going to be the father of Stephanie's baby.
yeah,
And,
Stephanie,
and she said no. And so then he said, well, what if you use Shane to be the father? And she wouldn't do that either.
you notice how Shane vanished a long time ago?
Yeah, he didn't like that stuff.
He probably
We didn't think of it at the time, but that's probably what it was.
Yeah, Shane was the first to disappear off the map.
Hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, why was he trying to push these kind of storylines with his daughter? You know,
It's because they were part of his fantasy.
yeah, he had fucked up fantasies,
Incest?
and also it came out, you know, like that his mom sexually abused him when he was a kid. So that's why he's probably got this incest stuff in his mind.
Yeah, he was court-martialed from military school, and I think the only one that was ever court-martialed.
Oh, he grew up in a trailer park in North Carolina before he ever knew his dad, his real dad. And he was sexually abused by his mom, and he was physically abused by his stepdad.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know. I watched that documentary. Or was it maybe it was just a news commentary video about? But yeah, that was brought up. Um, yeah, I was surprised because I thought he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but not.
Mhm.
No, no.
Shane McMahon was, but not Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Well, in those days, the days of the territories, they they weren't rich like people think.
Right,
Not
right. Like yeah, like the WWF or the WWF was not as successful as the WWF WWE became.
well, you know
It
why?
was just a regional territory.
Because the way they made money was to put the bodies in the seats.
Right. Well, and then yeah, and then Vince McMahon capitalized on the TV
Yeah, the
and,
merchandise
and the pay-per-view.
and the merchandising.
Yeah, there was no little action figures back in the 70s or
Yeah,
60s, right? They didn't even have that.
you know, because Bruno,
Why do you think they didn't do it?
Bruno was alive when he says, yeah, well, that's how they made money.
Right.
Selling tickets.
So James, if you think about like the back in the 50s and 60s, right? They had like little cowboys and Indians toys, and they had GI Joe. Why didn't the wrestling promoters think enough to
They
produce wrestling toys?
could have.
Because yeah, because people, the kids in those days played with toys. It wasn't just like in the 1980s they started playing with toys.
No, they didn't call them action figures, but they were
Which it was
dolls.
toys. You definitely had GI Joe, right, and cowboys and Indians and other stuff too. So and wrestling was on TV. Kids watched it. So why didn't they make? Why was Vince McMahon the first one to think about this? I mean, it's pretty amazing that they didn't think of that before.
Yeah. Well, he when he bought out many of the territories, he also stiffed many of them for the money that he was supposed to give them.
Just like he stiffed that girl on the Hush Money,
Right. That's what.
and that's what ended up fucking him over.
Yeah. He pulled the Donald Trump because Trumpy likes to stiff everybody.
Well, he'd been stiffing everybody since the '80s, and he figured he can get away with it again with this woman. He gave her $1 million. He was supposed to give her 3 million, and she came out. She said, "You're only going to give me 1 million. I'm going to come out with the truth."
You know that. To end the show, I just want to say that did you know that independent circuit promoters and old territory day promoters used to stiff people also?
Mhm.
People also that
Even then, not even just the old days. If you look at like the East, what is it? The one by you, the East Coast Wrestling.
yeah, I used to work for them.
They stiff people all the time. They stiff wrestlers. And
Yeah.
and Paul Heyman would run ECW and not pay the wrestlers
Yeah,
a lot of times.
he owed Chris Jericho was saying when he was in ECW, Heyman did not give him anywhere near what he promised him.
So it never changed. But
No, it never changed.
it's the carny business.
It's Right. It's a carny business, and that's where the word mark comes from.
And it's about bullshit. It's all bullshit.
A
It's all
mark.
fake
Right.
bullshit, lying.
They lie about their height.
They lie about
They lie
everything.
about their
And,
weight.
and that's why Hulk Hogan is known as the biggest liar, because he doesn't know how to tell the truth. Because he got so used to lying all the time that he doesn't know the lying from the truth. He doesn't even know.
He had these lifts put in his wrestling boots, and he was billed at 6'8". He was really 6'6". I
Mhm.
mean, before his spine started shrinking from the back injuries. But he was his everything is a lie.
Everything he says, you can't trust.
Where they're from. He's
Right.
not a Hogan. He's not Irish.
His name isn't even Hogan.
His father's Boulay. His father's was Italian.
He grew up a poor guy in Tampa.
Listen, his father was Italian. His mother was Panamanian. He's light years from being an Irishman. And
But Vince McMahon wanted an Irish guy
right.
when he came into
Yeah.
the Fed.
And where was he from? He was billed at was it Venice Beach,
He was
California?
built from Venice. So why would an Irish guy be in Venice Beach anyway?
Right. A guy from Tampa is from Venice Beach, California. Is it?
Well, you know Jesse Ventura. His name is something else, but they named him Jesse Ventura because they wanted him to be like a surfer guy from
Well,
from,
like a beach.
from yeah, like from Ventura, California.
Right. His real name is James Janos. He's Slovakian from Minnesota. He's from Minnesota, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and that's how he got into politics. He was the mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, James Janos. Jesse
But
is
I think Janos sounds like a good wrestling name.
yeah. Well, they wanted to give him that California. So he was billed from San Diego, California. Jesse the Body Ventura, and he had the tie dye. He tried to copy Billy Graham. He had some tie
So
dye
did Hogan tried to copy Billy Graham.
bolo. What do you call the feather bolo around the
Yeah.
neck?
Superstar Billy Graham started the whole look, and he was really the first modern wrestler, you can call him. And he was the first one that really abused steroids. Superstar Billy Graham.
Billy Graham used to
He
work
was
out.
the prototype though for what would come.
No, he was big. He used to work out with Hogan in California.
Yeah, but if you see him in like videos from like the 90s, what he did was he took steroids when nobody knew it was what they were doing. Kind of like Coke back in the day. And it wasn't regulated, and he was just taking so much, and he didn't know what the repercussions would be. That he ended up in the 90s, like his body shrunk, and it was so small.
Did you know that in the 19?
Oh, I gotta plug my computer in.
You know, in the 19. Yeah, I'm gonna end the show. But you know, in the 1930s.
Well, let me just plug it. It's gonna die. I gotta plug it in.
Oh.
Give me a minute.
I can hear the fountain from here. It's got good sensitive a computer microphone. Anyway, it's either the fountain by him or it's my aquarium filter. There he is. Yeah. So back in the 1930s, you know, and steroids and testosterone was over the counter. It was you didn't need a doctor's
I didn't
prescription.
know they used it in the 30s.
No,
I didn't know it went that far back.
it was available. It was like uh, the testosterone and
But they didn't use it in wrestling, right? Because like everybody was like fat back then.
well, it
Oh,
was
in the 70s,
it was
they
it,
all had like beer bellies.
it was promoted as a male enhancement formula.
Like for sex.
Virility. Yeah, it was like even like cocaine was like over the counter back then. A lot of things were over the counter back then, and like you said, and even though everybody looks up to Arnold, I mean, don't get me wrong, he was born with perfect genetics, but he did a lot of Dianabol. He used to take them like willy nilly, like candy, those little pink Dianabol tablets. I heard, they juiced. They all juiced.
Mhm.
Um, Talk about being full of shit. Charles Atlas, like in the 1920s, Charles Atlas didn't build his body from his dynamic tension isometrics. He did it with weights, and he didn't tell people that's how he lied. He said to people that he used his dynamic tension isometrics to get the body he had. No, he did it the conventional way.
Hmm.
So he lied about that. The carnival, carnies,
Yeah, carnies. They lie about everything.
they're carnies. They're
That's where wrestling comes from originally.
and the sucker, that's where they got the word mark from the carnivals. The suckers that would get suckered in and believe it and pay the money,
All right.
mark. And they still use the word mark today. Anyway, like I said to Commodore Jeff Zambello, thank you for stopping by. I was thinking of, I don't know, tell me what you think. I was thinking of changing both shows to the format of open topic talk shows, anything goes, uh, hard hitting truth, and just keep everything totally open topic.
Well, then Jordy might like that.
Yeah, but what happens when we start discussing serious matters and Jordy's gonna start getting pissed and
So
well he
maybe Saturday could be less serious.
no it could be serious, but it could be serious, but it can also be uh, funny. It could be sports related. It could be anything. It could be nutrition. It could be anything. Like anything that people feel they want to talk about.
Jordy wants to talk about beer and music, right?
Yeah, but he can't dominate the whole show with that.
Well,
Usually,
do you ever talk about music? You do sometimes, right?
I don't talk about music because then I would. It's no
Then
fun.
people want to listen to it, the
It's
music.
no fun if you
You
can't
you
play
can't play it.
if you can't play the songs. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like uh, it's like me saying, "Hey, Ronnie,
Well,
you
that's when Western Michael wanted to listen to music on the show,
know you'll fuck up my show."
right? But I see his point though, because he wants to hang out and zone out and listen to music. But you're saying you don't want to take that chance on your
No,
show.
it's because I'll get a threatening email from YouTube.
Now, how come some people don't get that?
I don't know.
There are some people that play music, and they do it like every day.
I always get it.
Huh.
I always get maybe because YouTube is I'm being watched because
Maybe
of
YouTube is playing favorites,
all the
or
serious topics.
they don't like you talking about the vaccine, so they got an eye on your show now.
No, they don't. They don't want. Oh no, we can't talk about vaccines. That's taboo.
Right.
We can talk about politics all we want, but we can't talk about vaccines because then you get conspiracy theory people like Paul Mantia saying that vaccines are don't work and they're trying to trying to kill us with the vaccines, and they start talking shit about that. Can't do that. Um, um, yeah. So. Um, Yeah, so like it's like me saying, "Hey, Ronnie, remember that disco song? Get down on it, get down on it. You really want." I mean, all right. So where do you go from there? I can't play the song. I can't play it. So
Yeah.
that's why you don't hear me getting into like music. You
That's
know,
that's understandable.
yeah. Because I did a video at a Italian festival in my hometown. It was Labor Day weekend festival. St. Joseph's Festival. Anyway, St. Joseph's Church, rather. So they had a DJ who was pretty good, and then on the other end of the festival, they were playing folk music with singers and everything like that. So the DJ part, my friend who does uh, street performance and creative dance with special lights and everything, he was doing this thing to the DJ, and YouTube totally muted the whole recording. The whole recording of me recording the people dancing and the Italian festival, all the video was muted.
Was it a Mother Cabrini festival
Mother Cabrini.
or the San Gennaro?
It was like around the same time as San Gennaro. It's an annual festival, St. Joseph's Church Italian Festival. And the funny part is they had like a spinning wheel, to supposedly raise money for the church. They had a big, huge wheel of fortune that would spin the wheel.
I'm
Spin,
sure it does. Or I'm sure it does raise money for the church.
spin the wheel, make a deal. So they had, because the copyright music. Now nobody was making money. See, this is what gets me. Nobody was making money off the songs. The DJ was not making money off playing the songs. So, but because you're playing, you got copyright music on the show. That's not allowed. But you're actually promoting those songs when you think about it. You're not.
It depends which way you look at it. Yeah.
It's
But that's how it's going with TikTok, right? Where there's big companies that are saying you can't play these songs on TikTok anymore because remember back in the day in like 2000 when Napster was putting all these free songs on the internet, and then Metallica came and complained about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was like the first. Metallica was the first music artist or group that really complained about the internet just putting free content out there.
Really?
Yeah. And it was done through Napster was the company.
Yeah.
And they sued Napster, but they couldn't control what was going to eventually happen. Once the internet opened up and they got access to everything, different companies besides Napster sprang up, and it was called peer-to-peer. This is when I was when I was a kid. And you can have you would download on your computer, I guess it was kind of like a website. So the popular one, so Napster was the original, and everybody learned like you can't use them because Metallica sued them. So there was a couple of other ones. One was called LimeWire, and then another one was called Kazaa. And what you did was like whatever song you wanted, like you just thought of a song in your head, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna download it on the computer now. And you download it, and it wasn't as quick as it is, these days. It would take like 5 hours to download like one song. And then, but once you downloaded it, you had it in like your library, and then you can go and make a CD, and you could pick these different songs from your library and put them on your CD. So you would make like a mixtape, your own personal mixtape.
You know how I used to do it? I had a program, a downloaded free program on my computer, my desktop, where I can go to YouTube. I can find like an authentic, like a complete album or song,
Oh, so this is recently you're saying?
and it'll download.
Right.
I copy and paste the URL to, like, let's say it was a whole album. Copy and paste the URL onto this free program, and the audio would be on my hard drive on my desktop. Then I would turn around and burn it. I would burn it onto a CD. Like my sister, at the time, my sister wanted Chicago Greatest Hits, so I found it, the exact album, and very easy to find the music on YouTube. And then that's how I would do it. I would have the audio on my hard drive, and then burn it for her on the CD, and it sounded great, and it's and then eventually
It's amazing, right?
it became it became problematic, the program. But yeah, it is amazing. This is more than one way to skin a cat. Things can be done. Yeah. So what was I going to say? I was going to say something about. I digressed. Oh, TikTok. They're very strict about political information that's like really deep. Like they'll remove.
Do you think that has anything to do with them being owned or controlled by the Communist Party of China? Because that's what I mean. A lot of the backlash against TikTok is people. That's what they say, is that they're controlled by communists.
Oh yeah, they'll censor a lot of things like.
And now, so lately, there's a lot of they're trying to actually ban TikTok in the United States.
Yeah,
Is
but
that right?
but I had a lot of my stuff returned because I kept appealing everything. But not most appeals. I would usually win most appeals, but some appeals, they refuse.
So, what do you think?
Like what I would do, what I have on TikTok, because what I have there is I would take political banners, and I would make like a slideshow to music. They have their own, non-copyright, like they would take either non-copyright music, or they would take an actual song and just play a first portion of it, a piece of it, and then
so that portion wouldn't be copyrighted.
Apparently, yeah, and then it would just go back to the beginning of the song. So it'll be like the first portion. But some songs, if they're old songs, they'll play out. Like if it's like there's Mick Jagger, like if it's a Rolling Stones song that was popular back in the '60s, sometimes they'll just play the whole song.
Maybe because it's old enough that copyright doesn't
doesn't apply.
I mean, I know it has a certain amount of years, right? Usually.
Evidently, because many old songs.
So even on this show, you can play some songs. I mean, pick a song that's like 100 years old. You can play songs from the 20s, from the 30s, if you want to, and you probably have no problem. It's just these new songs, say, and most of the new songs from today suck anyway.
Yeah.
But how far back does it go? Maybe 30 years,
Yeah.
40 years,
So
where they're really going to be paying attention to it.
so maybe the copyright just doesn't apply anymore.
Maybe going back to the 60s or so, it might not apply.
What
I
was
guess you'd have to really look that up, though, the fine
the
print.
song? Sympathy for the Devil, I think it was the song.
Oh, yeah, play that. Let's hear that. Sympathy to the Devil.
I don't want to play it.
That sounds pretty fucked up, though, right?
Yeah, that was an old Rolling Stones song.
What kind of song? What kind of shit is that? Were they like satanic?
Doesn't it sound satanic to
It
you?
sounds satanic to me. Sympathy to the Devil.
Sympathy for the
And,
Devil. Yeah.
and they were putting shit out like that was normal back then, right?
Yeah, I'll send you the music video. I'll send you the song from YouTube.
I can't even believe that. That was the 60s or the 70s.
Shit.
Like
It's all-
they weren't even trying to hide it.
Not in that song they weren't. Hold on, I have to urinate. And then I gotta close.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna do the same, and then we'll close out. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Let me okay. Ooh. Oh. Okay. I'm back. I'm going to close up the show as soon as Ron gets back from his 1,000th trip to the bathroom. I didn't go that often. But he's been going back and forth. Let me ask him if he thinks it was the beer. Oh, they were here before, Daryl. No, they were.
What's up, Daryl?
Hey, Daryl Messias from Northern California. They were. Just going to close out the show. The Commodore Jeff Stambella was here for a while, so it was me, Jeff, and Ronnie S. That's
Seems
it.
like Daryl usually joins late in the show, right?
He watches. He watches, but that he.
I think on Sundays he usually maybe he works on Sunday or something.
Yeah, we don't have as big a panel on Sunday. Sunday's a different show, but yeah, you know what? In terms of the commentary area, it's just you and Masumi, and nobody else. There's nobody else.
Why do you think that is?
2 more hours of what? No, I gotta order my Chinese food. I'm hungry. Uh, I started at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go order food and relax. I think I'm gonna order orange chicken, which is like
James, I think you say that every single week.
no, and I lie.
I think you do say that though.
I don't order orange chicken every time. I order
But
different.
do you always order Chinese food on Sunday?
Yes.
Why?
I could order a pizza. I could order a calzone.
So the pizza place by me is actually closed on Sunday. They respect the Lord's Day.
No. Here they respect Hungry People's Day. Whatever, I can get pizza, but do I really want all that dough? I don't know.
Now the Chinese place here is usually closed on Monday.
Really,
I don't know if is Monday important in the Chinese calendar. I'm not sure.
I don't know what what reasons they have for doing things in Florida, but
Now, but Friday it's kind of like the Sabbath for the Muslims. Is that right?
no, sundown Friday is the Sabbath
For the
for
Jews.
Jewish people.
But that goes into Saturday. But
It goes, it's
well, so but for the Muslims, is it Friday? Is actually the important day?
I have no idea. I just
For the
know
Christians, it's Sunday.
I just know with the Jews, it's sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is considered the Sabbath. And well, of course, you know what it is? The Lord, the God created the heavens and the earth,
And on the seventh day, he rested.
and on the seventh, I don't know why he needs to rest. He's God, but anyway,
But
seventh day,
then,
yeah,
why that was changed from the Jews to the Christians was because Jesus resurrected on Sunday. So that's why the Christians now have our Sabbath is on Sunday instead of Saturday.
I mean, historically, do you think those dates are accurate as far as like Good Friday really happened on
Well,
Good?
that's what it's recorded as.
Now,
So
Good Friday was the Last Supper, or was Good Friday the crucifixion?
the Last Supper was on Thursday, I believe.
Thursday, the crucifixion
Yeah.
was Good Friday,
Yes,
and,
yeah.
and his death.
And then Jesus rose on the third day.
Right, and Saturday he was in the tomb,
Okay.
and then when he rose, Mary Magdalene was the first to see him. As he,
She went to the tomb. She didn't actually see him. She went to the tomb, and he wasn't there.
oh, so when he appeared, that was part of the movie.
To Mary Magdalene?
Yeah, like before Jesus appeared to the disciples to show the disciples that he has risen.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
He was
he appeared to her first.
he
Yeah.
appeared to because she was a cool. The disciples were fucked up.
Well, she went to the tomb first.
Yeah, they were dysfunctional. They were
The
fucked up.
disciples all turned their backs on him.
Right, but Mary Magdalene never.
She was at the cross when he was crucified. So was
with
so
Mary.
was his mother, and so was the apostle John. He was the only one who stayed.
Okay. Yeah, the rest all turned their back on.
Peter turned his back on him, and
Right.
and he told Peter, "You will deny me 3 times before the cock crows."
That's
And then the cock crowed, and he realized, I denied him 3 times. He was right.
Yeah, one of the Pharisees or Romans recognized Peter and said, you're with him? Are you with him?" Something like
And
that.
he kept saying no. He said no 3 times to him. And then he heard the cock crow, and he was ashamed of himself. and he became the first pope. The first pope
That's why they named
denied Jesus 3 times.
that's why they named it Saint Peter's
Basilica.
Basilica.
Because eventually he went to Rome.
And he asked to be crucified in Rome. He went
Upside down.
upside down, right? Out of respect for Jesus.
Right. He didn't want to be crucified like Jesus was.
Well, they were all martyred except for John.
Except for John. John was the one who was at the cross.
Yeah, John was on the island of Patmos.
Right.
Patmos,
Yeah,
and he
you know.
and he received the revelation. He wrote the book of
He
Revelation.
wrote the book of Revelation. Correct.
The angels appeared to John on Patmos,
And he's known as the beloved disciple because Jesus loved him the most.
Yeah, John was a good egg.
He was never martyred.
That is true. He's the only one. He's the only one. And of course, you know, they didn't treat Mary Magdalene as a disciple, but technically she really
wasn't. She wasn't.
She wasn't a
disciple. You know why she wasn't?
Because she was a woman.
She was a woman, yeah. She can't be a disciple.
Yeah.
Just like there can't be any women priests or bishops.
Was she? True. Yeah. Winchester Cathedral. Okay. Anyway, orange chicken. I'm serious. That's what it's gonna with brown rice. With brown rice, not white lice. White lice. Brown lice.
Pork fried rice. Pork fried rice.
Poke fried lice. Now I could, when I order pizza, we got a place over here that's kick-ass. When I say, because I'm really picky about pizza, and this is a great freaking pizza. This is like thin crust, a lot of fresh mozzarella. The toppings are fresh. Everything is great. I usually get anchovies and mushrooms. And if I get tired of anchovies, I'll do eggplant and mushrooms. I don't want pepperoni because that's cheap ass salami. That's
I like pepperoni.
Yeah, you know, yeah. I could do surf and turf and do anchovies and pepperoni and.
So this place is open 7 days a week.
Yep. Oh,
So
and their calzone is loaded with ricotta cheese, and
they don't respect the Lord's Day.
Oh, they respect
the almighty dollar.
They respect our stomachs. Yes.
The almighty dollar.
You know, the thing about Chinese takeouts, I got to be honest with you. If it's like, if it's Christmas Day or New Year's Day, or any holiday that any Christian holiday or national holiday, they are open.
For Christmas Day,
they are open. Well, Christmas Day is
supposed to be when that's when all the Jews go to the movie theater. Because a lot of movies come out on Christmas Day, but most people are celebrating Christmas, so that's when the Jews take advantage and they go see a movie on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? Because a lot of movies come out on Christmas Day. It's like a tradition.
I usually go on Netflix and watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, James, I'm talking about like pre-COVID, when you actually went out and you did stuff. Back in the 70s, when
say COVID,
when you went to Plato's Retreat.
Yeah, that was Plato's Retreat, or the one of many massage parlors in the region. But you know, the thing is that like New Year's Day. I don't know anybody who prepares a feast for New Year's Day. I don't know anybody that does it for New Year's Eve. So it's very convenient to just order a shitload of Chinese food for New Year's Day. Because you're coming off Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with a lot of food. Between Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it's a lot of eating. So when New Year's rolls around, I mean, we just drink, and I don't go anywhere. I drink. I watch the ball come down, and Happy New Year to my sister. That's it. And the next day, you order Chinese food, or because they don't. My sister's not gonna splurge. Is not gonna prepare a banquet again after she got done preparing for Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve. She's not going to do it a third time. She's going to say, screw this, give me a break.
Now, why don't you do it?
Nobody could. Who am I going to do it for?
If you prepared a banquet, would she come to your place?
No, because she says I'm too tired to drive all the way to Edgewater.
How far is she?
She's 20 minutes. She's 20 minutes.
So if you did a big banquet for New Year's Eve,
I
you
don't want
wouldn't come over with your husband?
I don't want to prepare that much food. Are you kidding? But I could if I wanted to. I usually do like quickie meals, like if I stir fry or if I do.
But I'm saying
I-
if you did. If you did do it.
That's a good question. I never really.
So
Make-
you play the host for once.
Play the host. Yeah, but she's such
Sounds
a
like
good.
your sister's always playing the host.
She's such a good cook, though.
Maybe she can come over and help you cook, if anything.
Like Christmas Eve. Between Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, she's got the smoked ham. She got the lasagna that she makes from scratch. She's got all this freaking food. She puts out the cheese and the expensive salamis, and she puts all this stuff out. And there's a lot of good food there, and there's a lot of room at her house too. I mean,
So she has more room than you.
well, she's got a big dining room table in a big dining room. I just have the kitchen. I don't have a dining room because I want a huge living room. I want a big living room because I have my hobbies, and
Yeah.
I wanted extra room. I mean, I could have a dining room, but then I would have a much smaller living room.
Mm-hmm.
But I just never thought of it.
Oh, that's all right.
She told me when she retires, she'll have plenty of time to hang out over here
That's what they always say, right?
and go to the or you could eat sushi. She likes sushi a lot, so
When she retires, she's gonna stay in New Jersey on her retirement income.
Well, they're not Florida. They're not.
They're not moving to Florida.
No, they go to Florida on vacation. But,
New Jersey's like the worst state to live in as far as taxes go.
well,
When you retire, you're on a fixed income. So
They're
if you're gonna stay in New Jersey,
taxes are high. You're
well, I
right.
guess you do it.
Well,
You don't think your dollar will go a lot further if you move?
I
South?
mean, I live in a pretty big
Are
apartment.
you in your rent controlled place?
I'm in a big. No, I'll talk to you off the air. I'm in a very large remodeled apartment.
It's an
Surrounded.
old apartment from the
surrounded-
1800s, right?
Yeah, but it's all like. I have all the new anemones. Anemones.
All right, Dan.
I can't say it.
I'll get out
But
of here.
anyway,
too.
surrounded by rich
So we'll
people.
talk soon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to order my food now. Orange chicken it will be with brown rice. Take care. Daryl Messias, Asumi, if you're still there. Thank you, Jeff Zambello and Ronnie S.